Alrighty, testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. Um, okay, so, we'll get the intro out of the way. Today we're going to be doing a game that was recommended to me quite a while ago by someone that I used to talk to, and they said that this game would be really good for me because I love visual novels, I love story. And then they also recommended that I be careful when I play this because they said that it is going to go over a lot of stuff. I'm going to feel something. Also, of course, Jasmine with the hydrate already. Okay. So I decided that I was going to bite the bullet and we were going to go to shot. So welcome to the game. It is called Remember the Flowers. And this is a game that was recommended. It's a visual novel. So I do want to say, just before we begin, I do want to initiate a content type of warning. This is going to be a very mature-esque game. I'm pretty sure, based on what I've read, that there's no actual explicit scenes. The writer of this, I heard, is a damn good writer, so I can't say it enough praise for how excited I am. The music already feels great. I love the art that we're seeing here on the first initial page. So I just want to give a content warning because there might be some triggering stuff in here. There might be some very, very dark themes in here before we begin. From what I understand, it is a pretty dark visual novel, but I am hoping that you guys are here to enjoy it with me, and I am hoping that you guys are ready to start. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's begin. Here we go, guys. I'm also going to be trying to voice act this as best as I can. I am not a voice actor though, so I'm sorry. Some of my voices may sound similar. Hey, he's losing a lot of blood. Are you sure it's a good idea to just leave him? Of course not. But we can't get back to the inn vehicle while all those guards are around. But we can at least... It'll be fine. We'll just keep him covered. Hey, help me move those crates. I feel like I'm slipping in and out of conscious. Where am I? Why can't I open my eyes? Hey, don't worry. You'll be okay. Who... Shh. Just rest. We'll be back soon. I can feel him lift my head and wrap something tight around it. But before placing something soft between me and the wall behind me. That'll have to do for first aid. Okay, let's move out. Right. Wait, where are you going? Where? Something hits my forehead hard, causing me to jerk my head up. If my lectures are boring, feel free to leave. I look at the desk. He threw a chalk stick at me. We're on the third row of the lecture hall, too. I don't know if I should be impressed or annoyed. Maybe I'm a little bit of both. Sorry, sir. I must have dozed off. I don't need you to tell me that. As a doctor, I'd hope not. I muttered to myself. What was that? Nothing. And with that, my professor scoffs and turns back towards the board, pulling out a new stick of chalk from the box. What a geezer. Chapter 1. Freedom. I pick up the bit he threw at me. If I had some more confidence in my aim, I'd throw it right back at him. Hey, I know what you're thinking. I turn to the right to Diana. You always seem to. It's not worth it. I know, but you can get him back by proving yourself on the upcoming test. Yeah, I forgot about that. The past few nights have been kind of a blur on account of... Were you up practicing again? Maybe. Diana sighs at that, to which I grimace. You know, you really nailed your impression of my mom. Well, what do you expect? You stay up all night, every night. Who wouldn't be concerned about that? I know. She's right, as much as I don't want to admit it. Sorry, I'm still adjusting to this new program, and I'm trying to figure out how to weave it into my personal projects. Anna pauses before placing an arm on your shoulder. No, don't be sorry. I shouldn't be nagging you. At least not this much. I laugh. No, I kind of appreciate it. It shows you care. Well, I'm glad that's coming through. I've always been a bit worried about you. You and me both. At the very least, you seem to be absorbing a lot of the information being thrown at you. It's almost unfair how well you do on the exams with how little you study. It's all thanks to you. You've helped me figure out my study habits. Clearly not enough. How much sleep did you get last night? Irrelevant. I'm sure. I try to yawn discreetly into my hand, but I guess it wasn't as discreet enough as our professor whips around and zeroes in on us. I can feel Diana's arms tense up on my shoulder as if we were caught doing something promiscuous. Something I should be made aware of, you two? Well, Diana stands up. Oh, well, you see, it was just helping me understand the new material about the frontal cortex. I was having trouble wrapping my head around it. She's trying to play it off. Oh, is that so? Diana, I expected better from you, and not to associate with anyone who would drag you down. I feel myself getting heated. Who the hell does this dick think he is? Would the fine gentleman like to stand up and share it with the rest of the class? There are some whispers and murmurs across the room, all directed at us. I look in my peripheral. Diana has that, oh, I fucked up look on her. Still, I stand up. With all due respect, sir, which isn't much, I'm aware you're on tenure, but I don't think it's wise to force your job on unemployed students. Or did you forget how much our tuition costs, along with giving proper explanation of the frontal cortex? Okay, I'm going to pause real quick for the ad break. See you guys in just a second. Longest minute of my life. Alrighty. I think we should all be back now, so gasp erupt from the rest of the class. I feel hot in the face, but I'm keeping cool. I can't say the same for our professor. I think he just snapped his stick of chalk in two. I can see him squirm to find some kind of legal retort. Tenure or not, I'm pretty sure throwing shit at me is grounds for removal. Maybe not, but I'm not gonna crack for the likes of him. I shift my hand to my hip. I'm waiting, Professor. No, he's the one who looks red in the face, more so out of anger. I bet that's the most blood flow he's gotten in quite a while. He grumbles in something insulting under his breath before turning angrily to write with his now broken chalk. That's what I thought, asshole. I sit down and take a deep breath. I'm not cut out for these kind of performances. Neither is Diana. We look at each other, somewhat mortified, before bursting out into laughter. It's thankfully covered by the bell. I help Diana gather her notes. She has a real knack for organized chaos. I guess I've rubbed off on her as well. We make our way out of the lecture hall, still laughing. Glad to see that you've been taking notes from Damien. Oh yeah? How so? Well, You were a pretty timid guy growing up. I remember having to beat up your bullies for you. To be fair, you were pretty good at kung fu. Damn right. She shows off a standard kick. I have to admit, I wish I had her coordination. What's your point, though? Well, you see, how long have you been dating Damien? I think our first anniversary is coming up. Oh, wait, really? I'll need to plan something. Anyway, wait, don't change the subject. Anyways, as I was saying, you were pretty quiet growing up. Sure, you kind of grew out of it a bit, but once you met him, you started getting, I don't know, more confident. What can I say? He's my better half. I give an exaggerated gay sigh, to which Diana snorts. Well, he certainly has left an impression on you. I guess being around the star of the college basketball team will do that to you. Oh my god, stop. Someone's gonna hear you. I try to shush her, but she just covers another laugh with her hand. Guess you've got some more confidence to build. Besides, weren't you on the Jumbotron together at the end of the last game? I think I'm getting a phone call. Diana crosses her arms and I struggle to pull out my phone. She has a knowing expression on her face. I slid my phone on and hold it to my face. Hello? Oh, hey mom. Yeah, no, school's going great. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, no, I'm still adjusting, but it's going okay. And my phone starts to actually ring and oh my gosh. And my phone starts actually ringing and vibrating in my hand, ruining my attempt at fooling Diana. Who am I kidding? Who'd be fooled by that? I think your phone is ringing. Thank you for telling me. I'll be picking it up now. I give a slightly annoyed huff as I actually go down to the phone call. It's from Damien, and my face immediately brightens. Hello? Hey, sorry to call. We're about to head out for our afternoon run, and I didn't have time to text. I just wanted to know if we're still on for tomorrow night. No worries. And yeah, I'll make sure everything's ready. You make sure to drink plenty of water, okay? Okay, you got it, dude. See you at the cafeteria for dinner. You know it. Love you. Stay safe. Love you too. The exaggerated smooch Damon makes is loud enough for Diana to hear. I almost cringe, but eventually do the same thing for him. I can hear him giggle before hanging up. I sigh happily as I stuff my phone in my pocket, before turning my attention to Diana. What? You guys are so cute. She's holding her cheeks gushing over us like she usually does. Stop. It's true though. Young love. Diana giggles again, and with that we continue our walk back to our dorms. So, what you got planned for tomorrow? Heh, it's a secret. Oh. Don't get any ideas. Oh, I would never. I roll my eyes before getting my phone out to show something to her. We're going to a show tomorrow. Ooh, exciting. Kind of surprised. Didn't know you were into that kind of scene. I'm not really, but Damien was excited about that this band was coming to town, and I couldn't say no. I pause. Also, I do want to get out of my comfort zone, even if it's just a little bit. I getcha. Do you guys need a DD? Wouldn't hurt. You sure you wouldn't mind? Not at all. I got tomorrow off. I'll text Damien to let him know. Thanks, Diana. I appreciate it. Of course. We chat about this for a little while longer before coming to the split between the dorms. They're not co-ed, so we don't actually live together. Oh, before I forget, do you want to visit the greenhouse this weekend? I don't know. I'll have to see how I'm feeling the next morning. You're not going to have a 2-day hangover. How about Sunday afternoon? I sighed through my nose. Can't get around it. I have been skimming on helping Diana the past few weekends while figuring out everything on this side of campus. I'm already hanging with Damien Friday night, and I do owe her one now, so there's really no excuse. Yeah, sure. I'll see you Sunday. Want to meet for lunch, then head over? It's a date. I'll see you then. Yeah, sounds good. We wave at each other and walk down our respective paths home. As usual, I wave to the dorm mother. As usual, I skip the faulty elevator and take the stairs. As usual, I make my way into my dorm room. I've only been here for a month, but at least I've got this routine down pat. Being in the master's program has its perks. I call it a dorm room, but it's almost like an apartment, complete with a kitchenette. What's best is I have the place to myself. Well, mostly. Damien spends the night a lot too. Toss my back on the couch before grabbing a glass of water, promptly chugging it. I'm not used to the summer heat around here. As I strip off my overshirt, I look towards the bathroom. I kinda want to shower right now, but decide to do it at my usual time right before bed. I sleep better that way. I say that, but I'm gearing up for my afternoon nap without any distractions. I plug my phone in, briefly lighting up a pic of Damien holding me up from behind as I flail in his grasp. I smile at it before flopping face first into my squishy pillow, not even bothering to pull the blankets over. It's still too hot for that. My eyelids start getting heavy, and I fall asleep for my afternoon nap. Aw, he's got such a good life. That's so cute. There's a strange ringing in my head. It's quiet, but just loud enough that I can't ignore it. I'm having trouble opening my eyes. How long was I out? It almost feels like a headache, but it's concentrated only in the back. Lifting my arms is a struggle too. Wait, am I sitting? A groan escapes my dry throat. How long have I been sitting like this? With all my might, I lift my hands up to my face and then try to rub my eyes open with my palms. Wait, what is all this I'm feeling? I pull it, and it tugs at my scalp. It's my hair. I'm not lucid enough to panic quite yet. Or maybe I am and this is just a weird dream. In any case, after some more rubbing, I managed to crack my eyes open. I'm sitting in an alleyway I've never seen before. Even moving my eyes to look around is a struggle at first. I just woke up, but I already feel exhausted. I take a few breaths, which is somewhat alarming. I thought you couldn't breathe in dreams. Regardless, little by little, I start moving what I can. I can wiggle my toes and move my arms. I kind of need to move them as my hair is getting in the way of my vision. I can hold my bangs down nearly to my sternum. I can hold my bangs down to nearly my sternum. The length isn't what's most concerning though, it's the fact that my hair is almost an unnatural shade of white. That aside, I try to feel around. I'm against a wall, and my next goal is to try to stand up. My joints pop like mad. Seriously, how long have I been sitting like this? It should not be this hard just to stand up, but my knees are trembling. Nearly hugging the wall with my side, I manage to stand up, albeit quite hunched over. Something slides off of me, but before I can look down to see what it is, I start to stumble. I jerk a bit as a wave of disorientation washes over me. My vision blurs. I can see stars, and I feel dizzy. I can't keep my breathing steady. It doesn't hurt. Nothing does. Not even the sudden upchuck of stomach acid I expel onto the ground below me. I clutch my stomach as I fall to my knees, breathing erratic. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. But I feel like it should. I'm more confused than scared. I don't have enough time to process what little information I have as I throw up whatever was left in my stomach. It just smells like acid. And just like that, I'm back to sitting against the wall. I shut my eyes, but I can still see colors swirling around the inside of my eyelids. Without any strength, I just sit there and pant. The taste of stomach fluids coming up from my throat with each breath, burning my mouth. I heave again, but nothing comes out this time. Nothing but a guttural belch. Okay, calm down. I say to myself, barely recognizing my own voice. Not surprising. Feels like the only thing I've had wet in my throat in decades was my own bile. I clutch my head and try to control the spinning that I'm feeling. After several minutes of trying to breathe calmly, my vision starts to settle. I still feel disoriented, but at least I can make out what's in front of me now. Again, I look around, trying to get my bearings. As I noted earlier, I'm in some alleyway. I don't know where though. Tilting my head up, I can see that it's night. The buildings around me seem stretched taller than they should be. I look further in front of me. There are boxes blocking the alley. They're stacked pretty high. I look down at the ground and something catches my eye. Slowly, I bend over to reach over it, not wanting to upset my stomach anymore, and grab what seems to be a jacket. It's pretty big. I can stretch it out as far past something that would fit me. I wonder who left it there. Were they trying to cover me? Another headache hits the back of my head and I clutch the side of my face. I'm starting to feel nauseous again. I rest my head against the wall and immediately feel uncomfortable. It didn't hurt, but I can tell I shouldn't have done that. I reach for the back of my head. I feel bandages, and lots of them, along with what I can only assume is crusted up blood. How the hell did I end up like this? Last thing I remember was hanging out with Diana and making plans with Damien. I try to recollect more as much as I can. It's all scattered, like a haze blocking me from my own memories. Oh fuck. I exhale with a haggard breath. I'm still hoping that this is just a weird dream because I can't even remember my own name. I then spend the next half hour alternating between doing breathing exercises and having an existential crisis. The more I think about it myself, the more I realize I don't know who I am. I'm thinking clearly, but there's not much to think about. All I know is Diana and Damien are very close to me, and I wish they were here right now. I feel a sort of sadness at all the things I can't remember. All of my relationships and experiences just gone. One thing's for sure, this is no dream. Maybe it's a nightmare. If it was, it'd be the most boring nightmare I've ever had. I say that, but I'm still fairly spooked. I move past the notion that I'm dreaming, however. The sensations I've felt since waking up are too real. Even so, periodically I pinch the skin of my forearm. I can definitely feel I'm pinching the skin, but I don't feel any pain. It's basically numb. Same with the back of my head. That blow I must have taken did a serious number on me. It doesn't take a doctor to figure out. That's probably why I can't remember anything. Speaking of doctors, I replay the memory of myself and Diana laughing at our professor. It's the only entertainment I have. Well, kind of. I also think back to that earlier memory, and I've come to accept the fact that it was real, despite the fact that my eyes are closed, and it felt so visceral to the point that I can say what happened. Someone mentioned my loss of blood, and someone else covered me up. Someone left me here. But who? All I have to go on is this jacket they left behind. For me. It's simple enough, but I don't recognize the style. Not that I can talk about fashion. It's better than what I have on. I can't tell if I'm wearing a hospital scrubs or a prison uniform. But wish I at least had some socks. The more I wake up, the more I realize how cold I am. I sigh. Eventually I look towards the other side of the alleyway. I don't think I can move these boxes easily, if at all. But I should try to at least look for help. I'm starting to get annoyed with my body as I struggle to do the simplest of tasks. I can hear my panting echo softly through the alley, along with something else. The sound of footsteps. I try to hold my breath. I think someone's on the other side of these boxes. Do I call out to them? Do I hide? Not that there's much room to hide. Whatever's out there starts pulling the boxes out one by one. I don't know what's in those boxes, but they don't look easy to throw around. They're just chucking them like it's nothing. I can feel my knees start to tremble. A chill runs down my spine, and my teeth start to chatter. Both my knees give up, and I'm back on my ass against the wall. The fear is starting to get overwhelming, and my vision starts to blur again. There aren't many boxes left, and something starts to show between the cracks. A light? A flashlight. Before I know it, the ray of light is completely covering me. It's a task to lift my arms to block the beam, and it's even harder to keep them in the air. I was already struggling to move without fearing for my life. I don't think I can take much more of this. I'm getting overstimulated. I feel like I'm almost shutting down. Just as I start to succumb to my panic, the light suddenly shifts. Slowly, I open my eyes, peeking through the cracks of my fingers. The person, no, the beast man holding the gun moves one step closer. Don't move, he says in a gruff, commanding voice. If I was cold before, I'm frozen now. I'm just sitting here, trying to follow his movements the best I can with what little I can see. Through the slits of my fingers, I can ascertain one thing. He's a wolf, and a tall one at that. The wolf circles around me. I can see him clearly in my peripheral. He can see my face now, along with the terrified expression I'm wearing. Gun or not, he could rip me to shreds with just those claws. Not that there's much to rip apart. I don't stand a chance at running in my current condition. Hell, I can barely stand up. So I sit there, waiting to see what he's going to do to me. He's a few feet away, gun still pointing at me. Upon closer inspection, it looks to be the size of a pistol, but it doesn't look like any model I've ever seen. The wolf shifts his head, looking all over my body. My teeth start chattering, reverberating through the alley. He walks up closer with intent. I shut my eyes. That's all I can do. The worst part is, this is the worst my breathing has been since I woke up. I can feel my empty stomach churn, and my dehydrated eyes strain to tear up. The only thing that pulls me up from my panic attack is the feeling of something soft under my chin. He starts to slowly lift my head with his paw. His paw pads feel like worn leather under my chin. His breath is hot on my face. Now, more than ever, I wish this was just a dream. The wolf squints his eyes and speaks to me. I can't make it out, as my ears are I can't make it out, as the ringing in my ears is too loud. You, is all I can muster. The wolf closes his eyes before pulling his hand away. He sits in front of me. We're at eye level with each other. Are you okay? Huh? Okay, got the hydrate. He pauses once more before repeating himself again. Are you okay? I don't respond. I'm not in the right state of mind to. He seems to pick up on this. Calm down. I'm not gonna hurt you. The wolf places the gun he was holding on the ground and slides it to the other side of the alley. See, if I wanted to, I would have already. That's one gun gone, but what about the one on his back? My eyes veer to it, which he notices. I'm not taking this one off. It would be too much work. He states matter-of-factly before switching to a crisscross position. You're okay. You're okay. He looks at me in the eyes again before holding his paws apart in front of me. Breathe in. He pulls them closer, almost in a clapping motion. And breathe out. I'm slowly transitioning from panic to confusion, which I'd say is an upgrade. For some reason, the inflection in his voice sounds weird. He's speaking English undoubtedly, but something is off about it. I can't put my finger on it. Is it a dialect? Regardless, I do as he says, and I start to match my breathing with his movements. We do this for a while, and slowly but surely, it seems to be working. With enough time and effort, and with the help of this wolf, I bring myself out of my self-induced panic attack. After one final breath, I manage to go back to just breathing through my nose. I'm still breathing faster than I would like to, but it's a start. There. How are you feeling? He takes a deep breath as well. I guess that did take longer than it needed to. Tired, dizzy. I finally dropped my hands down for a moment before moving to hold my head. I feel like I swapped a panic attack for a headache. I'm not surprised. The wolf gets closer to me, to my head. Wow, I really don't like how close he's getting. You've lost a lot of blood. Gently, he holds my chin and shifts me to the right, revealing the back of my head. He leans in closer and takes a few sniffs. I can feel his breath again, and I start to get apprehensive. I instinctively pull back. Gentle or not, this isn't really helping with my anxiety. You're still scared? Huh? He leans in again, and I can feel the wetness of his nose on my forehead as he trails around my head before sniffing around some more. Sorry, the wolf says bluntly before he pulls back. Habit of mine. Okay. What's your name? Yeah, suddenly, I literally don't have an answer for him. I don't know. The wolf doesn't seem fazed by that. What do you know? I don't know. My emotions feel like a metronome swapping between scared and confused at the drop of a dime. I like to believe that he's right. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have already. Now that I think about it, I don't think he could hurt me either way, on the account of not feeling any pain. Well, that's not true. He could break my legs, and even if I couldn't feel that, I'd be at his mercy. The flash of imagery in my head makes me shudder. Wait here. Huh? His voice snaps me out of my imagination. He stands up and then moves near the alley entrance. I cock my head and I try to see what he's doing. The wolf waves his paw over his right wrist, and a small screen lights up in front of him. It seems to be coming out of the bracelet he's wearing. I squint, trying to make heads or tails of it. Seriously, where the hell am I? We certainly didn't have this kind of tech back on Earth. Whatever he's doing, he's tapping furiously away on it with his fingers. For a moment, he places his free paw over his chin. He looks deep in thought. All of a sudden, he turns his attention back to me, looking me over once more, before typing away. He waits. Then I hear something. A notification. Then he starts tapping again for about a minute, before sliding the screen away. Okay, can you stand? I'm gonna take you home now. Here? The wolf walks up to me before starting to get me on my feet. He carefully gets under my armpit and lifts me up slowly, trying to keep me stable. How's that? Oh, wait a minute. I stumble nearly to my knees, and he catches me. It's okay. I can carry you if you... I said wait! I raise my voice, and the wolf's eyes widen quite a bit. I push him away, choosing to slump against the wall. At least I'm still standing, even if it's barely. Who the hell are you? Where am I? How do you know where I live? Even though the adrenaline from earlier has worn off, I'm starting to get hit with rising paranoia. I barely even know where I live. You can't seriously expect someone with a head injury to just go with someone they don't even know, do you? Quite feisty for someone with a fresh hand. Daisy, sorry. Dog distracted me. Quite feisty for someone with a head injury. The wolf sighs before walking over. Then he sits down in front of me again, so that I'm looking down at him. I'm kind of glad he did. My knees feel like they're about to give out, and so I sit back on the ground. I don't know how to explain this without alarming you, but you're going through a fairly common experience around here. He then taps the side of his head. Barring the head injury. What do you mean? The wolf scratches the back of his head. It's best that you know as little as possible unless absolutely necessary. That's a horrible way to build trust. I didn't mean to say it out loud, but I did mean it. I don't need your trust. I could take you by force if you really wanted me to. The fur on his neck bristles and my fear spikes again. He flattens back down before rubbing the back of his neck. Relax. It won't come to that if you just cooperate. I'll say this. I've done this before. Many times. Done what? Taking humans home. Amnesiac or not. How do you know where I live? The wolf pauses. Do you know where Resume is? No. Should I? The wolf exhales, almost in relief. Whether or not you do doesn't matter to me. Resume is one of the few cities that's mainly just humans around here. Okay, so where's around here? The wolf shakes his head. We can talk about that later. Honestly, we've dallied long enough. Just know that I have contacts there. He lifts his paw, pointing to the weird bracelet. I've confirmed the meeting point to get you home safely. I open my mouth, to which she interrupts. And before you ask any more questions, I gave a description of your appearance, and they matched it up with someone who's missing. I close my mouth. I guess you have done this before. I'm kind of surprising myself. I'm taking all of this in way too quickly, aren't I? I guess when your head's nearly empty, anything new becomes acceptable. Regardless, I'm going to at least try to remain skeptical. How do I know you're not just setting me up? The wolf smirks at that. You don't? What would you be able to do in your current situation if I was, though? He has a point. Don't know where or who I am. I wouldn't be able to make it far. I sigh. I can't tell if my ears are still ringing or if there's an alarm bell going off in my head. I resign myself, but I really don't have a choice. Okay, fine. It's not like I trust you, though. That's wise. I won't do anything to hurt you. You can count on that. We'll see, I guess. With that out of the way, the exhaustion starts to catch back up, and I scoot back to my familiar spot against the wall. I can barely stand up, let alone walk. Not to already impose, but you wouldn't happen to have any food or water on you, would you? The wolf thinks it over before turning towards the alley, listening. Yeah. We could probably have a quick bite to eat. Let me just... Alright, we got an ad break, so I'm going to take a little bit of a pause while that goes. I'm going to drink some more water to refresh my mouth. While I do that, let's go ahead and save, boop. Preferences, let's lower the sound volume just a little bit. Alright, welcome back, guys. I went ahead and hydrated twice just because I could feel my mouth getting dry. And here we go again. He walks over to the pile of crates and starts stacking them again, providing some decent coverage. There. That should be fine. I doubt anyone will go through the trouble to get through that. Besides you? Fair enough. Actually, that does make me curious. Before the wolf sits down, he plops a bag that he had slung on his shoulder onto the ground. It's a bit weird. It looks a bit weird, almost like a violin case with all the angles straightened out, like an awkward trapezoid. Wait, I'm getting distracted. So, how did you know I was here? Oh. The wolf taps his snout with a couple of fingers. It was faint, but I could smell you a couple blocks away. Pauses. Well, your blood anyway. I see. Well, why did you go through all the trouble of finding me? The wolf takes out what seems to be a canteen and places it in front of me, along with some kind of package wrapped in what feels like plastic. Afterwards, he sits next to me against the wall. I take on a lot of odd jobs. I wasn't looking for you per se. I was just in the area when I caught your scent. He takes his own package, ripping it open. Some kind of food. You should consider yourself lucky. By the looks of it, you wouldn't have lasted another day or two. Looking over myself, I'd say he's right. I'm skin and bones, with an empty stomach and a concussion. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of surprised I've made it this long. Slowly I lean forward to pick up the canteen thing. I can feel liquid inside, but I don't see a way to use it. It's a rectangular shape with no discernible openings. Woof. He looks up from whatever he's eating. There's water in here, right? How do I open it? He swallows. Oh. He leans over and slides his finger across the top. A small opening appears. There. It's got some nutrients in it, so it should help. Just drink it slow. I do as I'm told. Maybe it's because I'm so dehydrated, but this water does taste pretty rich. It's almost heavy. I choke on it for a moment, but swallow it down soon, not wanting to waste any of it. I smack my lips a bit, as if it's alcohol. You okay? Yeah, just a bit strong. Just drink it slowly. I nod, a tad embarrassed for my lack of coordination. Regardless, I'm thankful for the drink. My throat even starts to feel better in just a few minutes. Not wanting to drink it all myself, I mimic what he did earlier and close the canteen. On second thought, the wolf reaches over and takes the package he gave me. I'm gonna just take a guess. Judging by how you reacted to that water, you could use something a bit lighter to eat. He rummages once again in his bag before handing me a small parcel. That should be a bit lighter. It doesn't taste like much, but it's got some protein. Curious, I reach over and pick it up. It feels like it's wrapped in paper, though there's no labels. Even with what little strength I have, I open it fairly easy. What's inside looks kind of like saltine crackers, but brown instead of manila. I lift one up to smell it. It's like beef jerky, but only faintly. If I'm being honest, they don't look very appetizing. Beggars can't be choosers, though. I take one of the cracker things and bite into it. Thankfully, he's right. It doesn't taste like much. A little salty and a little sweet, but not much else. Definitely the texture of a cracker. I'm just glad I got something to drink. After a few minutes of eating, I look over to the wolf. He's enjoying his meal. At least I think he is. Man, how did I end up here? Now that I have time to think, I realize something. I don't recognize his voice from the ones I heard before. I decide to speak up about this. Oh, right. I think there were people who left me, but I can't really remember. The wolf looks over to me with a curious look. Do you remember anything about him? No, not really. Just a little bit of a conversation. Probably right after I got this dent in my head. I pat the crumbs off my shirt and hold up the jacket I woke up with. Yeah, I know. I love it. I love his design. This wolf is damn. I have this, but that's it. The wolf looks over before he grabs it from my hand and smells it. He then scrunches his nose. I guess he didn't like how it smelled because he balls it up and tosses it to the side. I think it would be best to leave it here. Take my word. Oh, okay. I start thinking to myself, whoever left that for me, I think they had my best interest in mind. Their voice seemed reassuring at least. Although, to be fair, they did leave me here like this. I should be more careful. A voice isn't enough to judge a character. Oh, wait. What's your name? We had such a shaky start, I completely forgot to ask. My name. He pauses and then he sighs. Cooper, just don't tell anyone. Oh, why? You ask a lot of questions. You know that? To be fair, you're making it hard not to. Just eat your food. Okay. Once again, I do as I'm told. Sitting in this strange alley with a strange beastman eating this strange food. I wonder how would Damien react in this situation if he were here with me. I bet he'd try to carry me so we could get as far away from this place as possible. A little fragment flashes through my mind of Damien giving me a piggyback ride. I think he convinced me to play basketball with him, and he whooped my butt. I remember being tired, just not as much as I am now. I sigh. I really miss his piggyback rides. I don't think this Resume place is my home. It's not much, but I have some memories of where I lived. Oh? I just don't know how to make sense of all of this. I'm not surprised. I just know one thing. I really want to go home. Well, as far as I'm aware, Resume is your home. He pauses. Even if it's not, Resume is known for getting people back to where they belong. What do you mean? Well, Resume is a hotspot for humans. Almost a sanctuary. I'm sure they could get you back to wherever you came from. I hope so. Cooper flicks his ear at that. I guess he can sense my dejection, though I'm not really hiding it. Where do you come from? Nowhere worth mentioning. He dodges my question and stands up, listening intently. I think it's time we head out. How are you doing? Well, better, but I don't think I'm in any condition to move around too much. Can you walk? I grunt as I try to stand up. It wasn't much, but the combination of water and protein crackers is at least giving me enough strength to stand up and walk for a bit. Kind of, but I don't think for very long. We'll take breaks, and if it comes to it, I can carry you. Okay. I stretch, popping all my joints again, but this time it feels really good. Just glad to be off my butt for a bit. I should mention, when we're out of the alley, it's best to keep the talking to a minimum. Why? Cooper's stance shifts, looking towards the opening of the alley, then back at me. There are people trying to find you as we speak. And that's bad? Very. I can't disclose much, but I'll say this. Your life will be a living hell if they find you. Maybe just because I'm getting more lucid, but I'm not really fazed by that. It kind of worries me. So wait, are you under contract? In a sense. As I've said, I've done a lot of escort missions. It tends to be easier the less people know. That doesn't sound skeevy or anything. Cooper looks at the alley and back to me. Look, there's a lot out there, and with your current mental state, I don't think it'd be a good idea to overwhelm you. Maybe. I don't know. I close my eyes for a moment, take a deep breath. Being left in the dark ain't much better. You'll be fine. I'm sure you've been through worse. Wouldn't know. Cooper actually chuckled at that, before returning his gaze to the alleyway opening. Gotta do this in a way that's not suspicious. I think I'll leave that to you. Didn't really offer. Fair enough. After about 5 minutes, he manages to remove most of the boxes fairly quietly. We're free to leave the alley. I'm both nervous and excited. You said we shouldn't talk, right? Only if absolutely necessary. Whisper if you need to. I'll probably hear it. Why? Can we write? Do you have an axiom? Oh, what? I'll take that as a no. He points to his bracelet. I can communicate through this via text, but that's it. What about pen and paper? Cooper looks at me as if I just said something truly bizarre. I don't know how to write like that. Wait, what? I don't use them much outside of class, but at least I know how. Okay. You do? Weird. What the? Like, you're one to talk? I think to myself, grumbling. Oh, right. He looks over me again. I'm slowly getting used to that. What should I call you? I'm not sure. The thought hadn't crossed my mind. What do I call myself? Cooper pauses again, thinking. Well, until you come up with something, I'll just call you human. Okay. Before we officially venture out, we do a bit of cleaning in the alley. Cooper tells me we should try to avoid leaving anything behind, sans that jacket he tossed. Thankfully, there's not much. Just wrappings from our food and... Oh. I forgot Cooper's other gun. It'd definitely lead to trouble if we left something like that lying around. As I'm about to try to pick it up, I think to myself, is it a good idea to touch something like this? Hey, Cooper, you left your gun over here. Is it okay for me to pick it up? Oh, good call. Yeah, safety is on. Just try not to slide anything on it. Slide anything on a gun? Okay, I know my motor skills are a bit rusty, but I should be able to pick up a gun without firing it, right? I gulp. I'm hovering my hand over it, inches away, before a yellow arm invades my vision. Relax, you're not going to set it off. The wolf casually picks it up and even twirls it. See? If you say so. Here. Cooper then carefully takes my arm and plants the pistol in my hand. It's cool to the touch and smooth. Almost feels like a smartphone screen. My grip is firm on it, and I don't want to drop it. Still, I do turn it around slowly, getting a decent look at it. It looks cool. It's not what I would normally picture a gun to look like, though. It's sleek, and it's pretty light. However, it's still a gun, and I don't trust myself with it. It's, neat. Here, take it back. Cooper takes it and holsters it back at his hip. I guess giving you a self-defense weapon is out of the question. Would that be necessary? Your position? Yes. Why does whoever they are want me so bad? Classified. Figures. You ready to head out? As ready as I'll ever be. He takes out his bracelet, or axiom, and he starts to tap away at it. Now that I'm close, I can kind of make out what he's doing. The screen's pretty clear, even while being somewhat translucent. I can't make out a lot, though. It looks blurry, almost as if censored. You can read that? I can. You can't? He swipes away the screen. No offense, but I'm not going to register you in it. Okay? Whatever that means. We're going to head to a nearby plaza. It's late, but there should be a shop open. For what? I figured you could use a change of clothes. Glad I just got paid. You don't have to do anything. I'll manage. That's nice of you, human, but it's more out of necessity. Your current getup would be suspicious to just about anyone. I look down at what I'm wearing. He has a point, although I'm not sure what kind of fashion they have here. If I could choose, probably something with sleeves. The scars along my arms and legs are kind of off-putting, especially to me. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about clothes. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. We both look up at the alleyway, making sure it's empty. Alright, let's start moving. Tug on my sleeve or something if you need anything, and remember, keep quiet. Okay. With that, we make our way out of the alley. It's hard to tell what time it is, but I guess it's after midnight. There's no one out on the streets besides a few cars. Some flying cars at that. Oh yeah, maybe Cooper was onto something about the scary outside world. What's more is that they're fairly quiet, just a slight hum. We walk on the sidewalk. The material is somewhat warm against my bare feet. I can't tell what it's made out of. It feels weird. I really wish I had some shoes. Cooper walks along the street, keeping me somewhat close to the walls of the nearby buildings. Their walls look sleek and unnaturally smooth. If I had to guess, they look like the same material as that gun Cooper has. The surfaces just look like big phone screens, highly reflective. I don't look long though, not wanting to see my face. We make it a block or two, and I tug at Cooper's sleeve. Cooper perks his ear in my direction. I whisper as quietly as I can. Sorry. Break. Sure. I lean against the wall behind me, taking a few breaths. I was hoping I'd last longer. The fact that it's in the middle of the night doesn't help. I'm feeling pretty sleepy. Here, this should help. Before I can ask, he takes out his Axon. I think he draws a circle on the screen. As he does, the outline of a circle lights up on the ground. With another tap, Cooper slides the axiom off, and a cylinder rises from the ground, stopping at around my calf. Cooper must see my stunned expression. What's the matter, old man? Never been to the city before? At this point, I don't know if I'm more stunned at what he just did or what he just called me. Old man? I'm like 26. I spit out in a hiss. Never seen a human that young with hair that old. Keep it down, would you? He's lucky I'm mature, or else I'd call him out for provoking me like that. I stare at him, sticking my tongue out. I huff and sit down on my new seat. It's not very big, but it's enough for me to sit fully without sliding off it. It's warm, almost like a heated seat. Curiously, I glide my hand along the side. It's almost soft in that warm plasticky kind of way. Handy. Cooper rests against the building while I take my break. He's tapping away on his axiom again. I try to look at it some more. I can see some pictures, I think, but that's about it. Looking around, there's not much to talk about in terms of architecture. Most of the buildings just look the same, being eerily rectangular without much detail. The ones that don't look a bit older, but not in terms of the architecture. I've never seen this style. They look way more worn out than the rest. Cooper keeps his ear out for a few cars that come out our way, but he doesn't seem too worried. Not even for those ones a few stories above us. It's kind of scary seeing flying cars all of a sudden. I instantly think of a scenario where one malfunction and just falls straight on me. Ever the pessimist. I shake my head. I stand up. Turning to Cooper, I give him a thumbs up. He looks puzzled before doing it back. Albeit a tad weird. Does he even know what that means? This no talking thing isn't gonna work. I sigh before gesturing for him to lead the way. Thankfully, he understands, and we're walking along again. Once again, I start to think to myself, I've come to accept that I'll be doing that a lot now. Seriously, this place is huge. It's a wonder how people don't get lost around here. There are signs here and there, but with all the buildings looking so similar, how do they make sense of it all? My thoughts get interrupted as Cooper suddenly pulls me into a nearby alley. What? Shh. He covers my mouth abruptly and huddles me against the wall. I furrow my brows. Where did this come from? Oh, fuck. Did you see one of those guards? I can't see anything out of the alley. Cooper is resting his side now, blocking me. He pulls me in against his chest. My scrawny chest is against his built one. This is the closest we've been. With his paw covering my mouth, I can only breathe through my nose. I've never noticed it before. This dog absolutely reeks. My eyes almost water. His odor is so overpowering. If the guards don't get me, the stench will. Actually, no. Guards, please come around the corner. Save me. They don't. As much as I sort of wanted them to. I don't see them, but I hear the clamping of boots behind Cooper. When they stop, my heart drops. They pick up again after a few moments, their steps fading into the distance. When Cooper removes his paw from my mouth, I take in some fresh air. As I move a few steps away from him, I glare at him and whisper in a hoarse voice, "Rude?" Sorry, they were getting close. They're not the only ones. I actually spit on the ground, getting as much of his stench out of my system as possible. You need a bath. What? Come on, let's go. You'd think with a nose that good he'd have noticed. I didn't even give him time to process that as I pulled him out of the alley. Ugh. My bravado ceased quickly though, as I need him to actually lead me. We don't talk for the rest of the walk, and thankfully no other guards pop up. Another few blocks, Cooper points to a building. It's one of only ones. I can't read today. It's one of the only ones with a lit sign. It looks like it's neon. There, that's our place. I huff. Thank God, my legs are starting to give out again. What is it? A clothing store, I think. You think? Well, I've never been. It was just recommended on the Axiom. By who? Let's go. Okay. We cross the street quickly. Well, as quickly as I can. It isn't until we're up against the building I finally realize what's so off-putting about this city. There don't seem to be any doors on most, if any, of the surrounding buildings. The buildings have some see-through windows above, but but here on the ground, nothing. Looks like just a big wall of plastic. How do we get in? Hang on. He pushes me out of the way before taking the Axiom out, this time drawing more of an archway on the screen. While he's doing so, an outline of a shape of what he's drawing appears on the wall in front of us. Once it connects, there's a brief flash of light before a new doorway has appeared. Wait here. I have to open one for you. I can't go through yours? No, don't worry. It will just take a minute. Before I can protest, Cooper heads into the boutique, and the doorway shuts behind him almost instantly. That'd actually be kind of cool tech, don't you think? Like, oh, you just open it with your... Oh, but what if you don't have one of those? And you can't go shopping. It hasn't even been a minute, but the fact that I'm all alone out in this strange world gives me goosebumps. I rub my arms a bit, really feeling the lack of sleeves. Wonder why I can't feel pain, but can feel all of this. At least my feet are warm. These heated walkways are nice. I look around some, and I think I see a clock in the distance. 2:46 a.m. No wonder I'm so tired. I yawn and rest against the wall. It's cool compared to the floor, which is weird to say the least. Man, Cooper is taking a long time in there. I start to get worried. Looking at the clock, it's been several minutes. It's a door. I mean, it's a super futuristic kind of door, but it shouldn't take this long to open a door, should it? I'm starting to get antsy out here. I'm a sitting duck. I turn to face the wall and start to feel around before pushing. Surely there has to be other ways to open a door around here, right? What if you don't have an Axiom? This all seems ludicrous to me. As I'm feeling around, the outline of an archway lights up. Before I know it, I'm falling face first into the boutique. I yelp and close my eyes, bracing myself for a plethora of broken bones. Instead, I fall on something sturdy, supportive, and smelly. I look up and I'm met with Cooper's concerned expression. I've fallen onto his chest. Cooper's gaze shifts quickly, though, back to one of annoyance. What are you doing? I was trying to find a way in. You were taking too long. You want to get off? More than you know. I heave as I basically try to do a push-up to get off of him, but my piddly arms make it difficult. Cooper instead just slowly lifts me up by my collar, like a kitten held by their mother, and gets me off. I can't believe you survived this long. I don't have a retort. It is admittedly a bit embarrassing to fall face first into your escort like that. I grumble to myself and work on standing up. Oh my heavens! Are you alright? I whip my head around towards the unfamiliar voice. As my heart starts to race, Cooper places a hand on my shoulder. Calm down. She's the one running the place, he says with some exhaustion as he hoists me up to stand up properly. That's right. Just let me know if there's anything. That's right. Just let me know if you need anything. I'll be here to assist you. She jumps. Oh my gosh, your head. Are you okay? Do you need a doctor? Oh, right. I'm bandaged up. Before I can respond, Cooper speaks up. He's fine. He's just had too much to drink. He pulls on my cheek a bit, as if scolding me. He needs a fresh set of clothes. Oh, I see. Well, of course. Just let me know if you need anything, and I'll be there lickety-split. Thanks. Her energy's a bit overwhelming, but I nod respectfully towards her out of habit. She looks like a small sheep, maybe no more than 4 feet tall. Her outfit looks like a green bellhop's uniform, complete with a cute small hat. Are they going to show us? Before she walks back to the desk, I catch her name tag. It looks expensive, with the name Marantha written in gold lettering. Fancy, to say the least. Never heard of a name like that, though. Wonder if it's a local thing. Okay, enough gawking. My inner monologue is once again interrupted by my escort, who lightly slaps my back. Hey, what was that for? You're taking up time again. Go find something to wear, something cheap. I rub my back and for a moment I think I feel something. I'm just tired. Oh, ad break. Let's get some more water while we wait. Alrighty. Welcome back. Alright. I'm aware. Now hurry up. He then scoots me off further into the store while he rests against the wall, fiddling with his axiom. Wow, thanks for the help. I want to go to sleep in a real bed. In any case, I start to wander around the store. Everything's looking pretty tacky, to say the least. Lots of weird designs, and most don't look very practical. I shiver. These floors aren't heated. Looking around, I don't see any shoes. If I remember correctly, which is already a stretch, most clothing stores don't hold shoes due to beastmen needing specific shapes and sizes. Guess it's not unreasonable for them not to have any. Regardless, I walk up to Marantha's desk. This might be easier than wandering alone. Plus, Cooper'd get mad if I dawdled. As I walk up to her desk, I realize something. I think she's asleep. Uh, Excuse me, Miss Marantha? I get closer and, yep, she's asleep. She even has a pillow on her desk. I look around for some sort of bell to wake her up. I feel bad, but I do want to get out of here as soon as possible. There's some sign of cube thing next to her nameplate. I tap the cube, which sure enough, it produces a small ding, instantly waking her up. Hello? Oh, hello, sir. Did I fall asleep again? Hello. And yeah, I guess you did. Oh, dear me. I apologize for that. I hope you weren't waiting long. Her voice sounds like a stuffed animal sheep came to life. She's adorable. It's no trouble at all, ma'am. I'm sorry for waking you. Oh, look at you being so considerate. If everyone around here was like you, this job would be heaven. She hops down from her chair to greet me. Definitely a couple feet shorter than me. I take it you need some help deciding? Oh, yes. I need some advice. I'm not looking for anything. I pause. Extravagant. Oh, and here I thought we had some of the more tame selections around these parts. I guess that explains your accent. She laughs, but I freeze. Oh, fuck. This must be why Cooper told me to keep quiet. They could pick me out of a crowd just by talking. Where are you from, sir? She almost trills as she walks me along the selections. Do I lie? Do I tell the truth? Vermont. She tilts her head at me, smiling expression unfading. Oh, wow. Oh, what? I've never heard of that place. What province is it in? Hey, what's that? Hmm? Oh, that's by designer. Phew. Yeah, this is going to be an issue. I'll have to talk to Cooper about how to handle these kind of situations. I let her chatter on, and it's honestly just pleasant hearing her talk. She talks about my tastes, and she asks about my taste and what I'm looking for. After I give her the rundown, she claps her hands. Oh, that explains why you thought we mainly had extravagant stuff. You're looking for something minimalist. Sure. I just nod. I don't really think clothes are as some sort of art. If she can help me get what I want, that's all I care about. In that case, I think something over here would be perfect. Despite her short legs, she's speedy. I nearly have to jog to catch up with her, which only wears me out more. These were designed by a relatively new designer. He's still up and coming, so I'm sure he'd appreciate your business. Okay, I like this girl. I wish they would have drawn her like a character for her, because she's relatively fun. I look over. Yeah, these seem pretty standard to me. Just how I like it. After a few minutes of perusing, I pick up a few outfits. They have tags on them, but I can't tell what currency they're in. I think I can make out some sort of stylized P, but that's it. I just don't want to break the bank for Cooper. I think these should be fine. Is there anywhere to try them on? Certainly. Follow me, please. I nod. Her enthusiasm at this time of night is impressive. She scurries off to another wall. She holds out her wrist. She has an Axiom too? Hers looks different. Cuter than Cooper's. She draws a rectangle on her pink screen, and a door appears on the wall. Here you are, sir. The dressing room. It also has a bathroom if you want to freshen up. When you want to leave, just hit the button on the table. Do you have any questions? I think I'm okay. Thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it. Oh, aren't you just the sweetest? Well, just holler if you need me. With that, she scurries back to her desk. I'm so tired I can only muster a half wave to her. She's very nice. I look toward the opening and head in. It's dark for a moment before a harsh pinkish hue illuminates the area. I have to shield my eyes, dropping the clothes, sensing discomfort. The lights tone down drastically to the point of just softly revealing everything. Is this to your satisfaction, customer? Uh, sure, I guess. I don't even question it at this point. Very well. Enjoy your stay. Creepy. I scoop up the clothes and walk around slowly. It's pretty spacious for a dressing room. This place is freaking huge. Who needs this much space to get dressed? There's what seems to be a vanity along a large mirrored frame with neon lighting. I'm still far away enough, but it's dawning on me. I have to get a good look at myself. Why am I so nervous? How bad can it be? If my arms and legs are anything to go by, really bad. Okay, that's enough. I'm still me, whoever that is. I say, but I close my eyes as I get closer to the table. After I feel around for a place to put the clothes down, I open my eyes. Wow, my hair really is long. I stroke it again, really getting a feel for the length. Doesn't look like I've eaten much in a long time either. I'm not withering away, but I definitely can see a lot of bones. My cheekbones in particular are fairly pronounced, along with my pasty complexion. Guess I don't get much sun either. The sudden confrontation with my own reflection just makes my mind wander. Where have I been? And with who? I can feel another panic attack coming, and I stand up straight. We can panic later. I need to get used to this. What I've become. Take a deep breath and start preparing myself for what's next. What does my chest look like? I clutch the bottom of my shirt. Although I hesitate, I decide to just pull the full thing off. For a moment, I look away from the mirror, but I glance, then look fully. Wow. I'm not sure if I'm disgusted or just plain shocked. My ribs are easily showing, along with several stitch scars throughout my chest. I trail my fingers over them, which makes me shudder. Didn't really realize it, but my hands are pretty cold. I repeat my new mantra. How the hell did I end up like this? I stare at my reflection in the mirror for a little while longer. The only thing I can recognize are my green eyes. I remember Damien used to compliment them all the time. Oh. Eventually, I snap myself out of it. As weird as I look, you don't have a lot of time. I'll get used to it sooner or later. I turn, and that's what I'm met with the weirdest part of my body. Along my spine are several pieces of metal. They look like ports. I'm not very flexible by now, but I managed to get my arm around and feel one of them. I push into one and immediately feel a wave of nausea, almost falling over. There's some sort of flash, a bright light, along with the feeling of tightness around my limbs. Fuck, my face was hard enough, but that's not something I'm gonna get used to, you see. I shake myself out of my stupor, and I rush to get my clothes on, not wanting to look back in the mirror, not wanting to look at what the mirror is showing me anymore. Oh, my mind. Thankfully, it doesn't take long for me to figure out an outfit. It's a black turtleneck and dark pants. I can't tell what they're made of, though. The turtleneck is light, but I already feel like I'm warming up. The pants almost feel like jeans, but smoother with the fabric I've never felt before. Probably best not to think about it. As long as they're functional, that's all I care about. I'm ready to leave, so I push the button on the table. It takes about a minute for the door to open. I wonder if she fell asleep again. Don't blame her. I'm surprised that they have anyone working this late at night. I gather up all the extra clothes in one arm and my old scrubs in the other. I try to compose myself, still disturbed by what I've become. Marantha's back at her desk, waving at me. Cooper finally lifts his head up from his axiom and walks over to the desk. He doesn't look thrilled. Welcome back! Oh, wow, that outfit does look nice on you. Very comfortable. I might need to try that designer out myself. Well, thanks. I'm not sure I'm much to look at, though. Oh, hush. You're definitely one of the more unique looking humans I've ever come across. She turns to Cooper. Wouldn't you agree? She's beaming. I don't think even Grumpy Cooper could ignore that. He looks okay. Unique is definitely a good word. I rub the back of my neck. It wasn't much, but I do appreciate the compliment. After everything in the dressing room, I'm desperate for any boost of confidence. So, how much? Well, let's see. Give me a moment to calculate everything. She takes out her frilly axion and starts tapping away. I move next to Cooper, wondering what they're doing. Is this how money works around here? More or less, at least in the ritzy cities. They don't trust physical cash. Weird. Cooper helps before lifting up his own axiom. I can see him slide to the screen to a different window. There are numbers along it. And there. That should do it. She types something before sliding her screen forward, and it appears on Cooper's. I can actually read it for once. Maybe it's a customer service thing. Cooper reads it too and doesn't look happy. He grimaces and groans quite loudly. I guess it's expensive. He looks over at me again before sighing and tapping a button. I think his signature pops up along with the numbers on the screen, dropping to near 0. Oh, now I feel bad. Thank you for your patronage, Mr. Krager. Cooper narrows his eyes at her, then slides the axiom off with annoyance. We're leaving now. Oh, okay. I turn to Marantha. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again sometime. Oh, you! That's supposed to be my line. She reaches over the counter to shake my hand. Pleasure doing business with you as well, sir. Don't worry about the clothes. I'll take care of them. Thanks. I appreciate it. I hand her the pile of clothes I didn't take, keeping the ones I wore under my arm. I tried to fold them like she gave them to me, but that was kind of hard. Have a good morning, boys. You too, ma'am. Hope you have some good rest. We wave at each other, but then Cooper locks his arm around mine, taking us out of the establishment. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, he's saying to himself. He says to himself, guess I was right. It was expensive. Sorry. It's fine. It was my idea. I'll get paid again soon anyway. Just know that didn't come cheap. Okay. Thank you. Cooper huffs and nods before letting me walk on my own. We walk again on the sidewalk. However, this time I don't know where we're going. I'm curious about something, though. So, Cooper Krager. He whips around to look at me. If you know what's good for you, don't ever say that name again. Okay, sorry. He huffs yet again and continues on. I really don't want to be in a bad spot with him. Sure, he's kind of pushy, but even in the past few hours, he's done nothing but take care of me. I need to figure out how to repay him somehow. So, where are we going? Home. I pause. I know we're going to resume, but what about right now? What? No. He turns to me. We're going to my home. You'll be spending the night. This time I start walking before going wide-eyed. Wait, you're not homeless? I'm partly joking, but with how shady he is, and with how much he smells, I just assumed he was. He looks completely done with me, though, and he doesn't even give me a verbal reaction. He just keeps walking. I go and catch up to him. I guess I should expect unexpected things, like spending the night in this strange world with the strange wolf. Dude, you're living my dream. Like, calm down. Yes. Hey, wake up. You're not going to sleep the whole weekend, are you? I might be tempted if you let me. Come on, wake up before I make you. I feel the sensation of Damien ripping my covers off, waking up to a blast of cool air. Chapter 2. objectives. My eyes have trouble adjusting for a moment, but I remember where I am. Oops, sorry about that, Cooper says as he tries to hoist me further up his back. I think he almost dropped me. Despite the cool air, I find myself sweating a fair amount. That's the desert for you. I think about 15 minutes ago my legs finally gave out, and Cooper had to resort to giving me a piggyback ride. He's not the best at it, and I had to coerce him to take his bigger rifle off too. Damien's definitely got him beat in that regard. Still, it's better than walking. Once we left the city, most of the paths were gravel and dirt. Cooper said he'd give me some spare shoes at home I could wear. When I asked where he got them, he told me not to worry about it. He might be right. The less questions I ask, the better. Not like he'll answer them anyway. I'm so tired at this point. It must be near 4 a.m. Every time I try to rest my head against him, that stench blasts my nose. Although, I'd rather not mouth breathe so close to his neck. I don't want any of that gross fur getting in my mouth. Hey, how much longer? Another quarter-mile, I'd say. Do you not have a car? If I could barely afford that outfit, what makes you think I could afford a car? Fair point. Ugh, I really shouldn't be complaining. He's carrying me after all. Still, even if I can't remember most of what's happened, I think I should be able to complain just a little bit. No more headaches and nausea, though, which is a plus. Do you really live out here? No, of course not. That city is the only habitable zone for miles. So where are we going? Again with the questions. Again with dodging of said questions. I give an annoyed and exaggerated yawn. I know you said things are classified, but if we're almost there, isn't that enough of a window to fill me in? You'd be surprised how quickly clients will cancel a contract upon leaking information. Is that not leaking information? I'm starting to slip back down again, and Cooper tries to hoist me up. Please stop talking. I'm tired, and not in the mood to banter. Okay, sorry. He grunts at that, and I frown. Remember, I'm not doing this because I want to. I'd much rather be shooting the shit with my friends at the bar than carrying your scrawny ass across the country. Sorry. I'll be more mindful. My heart does sink a bit at that, but he's right. I do need to keep that in mind that we're not friends, or will we ever be friends? Just coincidental acquaintances. I must be really lonely if I'm growing attached to this jerk. Cooper sighs, though, and even surprises me. No, that was a bit uncalled for. Believe it or not, you're one of the least insufferable escorts I've had to deal with. Even with the clothes? You kidding? Here's to see the bills I've had to pay just to make sure some of these clients are happy. Cooper groans before ranting on some more. Some of these mafia daughters think they're actual royalty. I can't help but chuckle. That is certainly a problem to have. Can I ask what they made you get 'em? Maybe in the morning. It is morning. I try to press my luck. Fair enough. I like to think he smirked at that. We carry on in silence for a bit longer, and I think I start to see cracks of pink invade the horizon. The sun must be rising. Is it okay if I sleep when we get there? Might mess up my sleep schedule, but I'm exhausted. Lucky for you, I'm not one for itineraries. As long as we get you to resume on time, I don't care what we do. It sounds like a bit contradictory, although I'm too tired to challenge him on it. Good, because I'm definitely about to give out. Just a few more minutes. Okay. We both huff, and I try to get comfy against him one last time. His stench is getting less apparent the longer he carries me. Guess that's something. There, up the hill. I eventually nod off again, but Cooper wakes me up once more. I'm so sleepy at this point, I can barely crack my eyes open. The sun's definitely coming up, which illuminates the hills in front of us. It'd be pretty if it wasn't so damn late at night. What is it? A capsule motel. I think I've heard of capsule hotels before. Not motel, though. I thought you said we were going home. You'll see soon enough. Besides, we have to get there somehow. Okay. I yawn, but I've made it this long, so I try and stay up. I'll crash on his floor if I have to. I just want to lay down. After I trek up the hill, Cooper nudges me again and helps me get down. I almost immediately fall over. Cooper has to hold my hand to keep me steady. Come on, almost there. Okay. I yawn loudly again. Cooper does as well, surprisingly. He literally props me up against the wall of the first building that we see. Reminds me of a cottage, both in size and appearance. It's completely contrasting the futuristic city we came from. Wait here. I'm going to register us for the night. Okay. It's kind of refreshing to see him open an actual door. I feel a form of nostalgia I can't begin to describe. Looking around, there isn't much. Besides the cottage I'm propped up against, there's some weird pod things. Now, those contrast with the desert cottage. I debate on trying to figure out what they are, but decide I'm too tired for that. Besides, Cooper will explain it to me when he gets back, maybe. If he's feeling generous. The desert wind is all that's keeping me awake. It must be summer around here since the night air is somewhat tolerable. I think I remember reading that in summertime it goes to about high 60s. It's a bit chilly, but I was already cold before. Cooper's pretty warm. I have to say, being carried by him wasn't the worst thing in the world. Still, he could definitely use some pointers from Damien. Amian. Jeez, I really miss him. The stars begin to disappear one by one as the sun starts to rise. It'd be pretty if I didn't feel like I was about to collapse. Yet again, Cooper taking a long time, but I guess this time it makes sense. He must be talking with someone to rent his rooms. Wait, does that mean I have to sleep in the same room as him? Oh, let me go ahead and save real quick, and then that's a sign. Maybe I can sleep in the bathroom. Better yet, get him to take a shower. The sudden door opening jerks me awake again. Cooper's back. As usual, he looks grumpy. I only got us about 48 hours. This place is such a scam. It does seem to be the only motel around for miles. Guess that gives them a reason to jack up the prices. Cooper has a look of surprise on his face, with the tinge of what I think is worry? How'd you know what a motel is? The question is so stupid I actually close my eyes in annoyance. I inhale out of irritation and sheer tiredness. You ask a lot of questions. Fuck off. Cooper also rolled his tired eyes and shoos me along. I follow him as best as I can, shielding my eyes from the rising sun. Number 12. What? Oof. I walk right into Cooper, banging my nose against his shoulder. Jeez, warn me next time. Pay attention next time. We're here. We're in front of one of those weird pod things. I pause for a moment. Well, what? This is the part where you're supposed to explain to me whatever the hell this is. Cooper gives an exasperated sigh. Do I really have to right now? It'd be fucking appreciated. I raise my voice a bit out of irritation, and Cooper cringes while lowering his ear. Okay. Fuck's sake. It's just a standard transfer pod. I don't know what that is, remember? Amnesia. I pinch the bridge of my nose. Cooper growls quietly, and I have half a mind to stick my tongue out at him. You can deal with my moodiness right now. I'm tired. Just watch. You're not gonna die. Cooper takes his Axiom and slides to a different screen. It's shaped more like a sphere than a flat screen. He spins it around before pressing it into a button. Okay, now I'm awake. It looks a bit staticky for a second. Then he rotates his arm forward. He's holding his free paw underneath the spear, and something slides out from under it. It looks like a key. Whoa. Cooper slides the axiom off and presents the thing he just dropped out of it. Judging by the stupid expression on your face, you're quite surprised. Most axioms can digitally store physical objects. This is the key to my place. I keep it and other important things in it, so long as they fit. That's handy. It can be. I know some pricier models can store a hell of a lot more. This and a few personal belongings is about all I can store. I see. Wow. Okay, that was pretty cool. Just don't grab it while it's in the axiom. It hurts like hell. Noted. As if I'll ever get one. Cooper sticks his key into another device. It looks like a rod with a port in it, and he walks up to the pod. If you could describe it, the pod looks like a big plastic egg with ridges on the side, maybe a couple feet taller than Cooper and I. Then Cooper sticks the rod in a hole in the side of the pod. There's a brief flash, then the outline of a door frame starts to materialize. Before I know it, there's a normal enough looking door transposed onto the pod's surface. Ready? Sure. Whatever. I just want to go to bed. Cooper takes my hand and gently starts to open the door. Close your eyes as we enter and walk. It'll feel like a long hallway. I do as he says, and I walk with him. Okay. We walk for half a minute. I didn't get the best look at it, but there's no way the inside of this pod is that big. Can I open my eyes yet? Sure. I open my eyes, hopefully for the last time tonight. We're in an apartment. I'm assuming Cooper's. I take it that weird pod thing can transfer people to wherever you want? Ah, see? I knew you had a brain. It just took a day for you to turn it on. Anyway, you said you only had 48 hours. Why? If we go over that, we won't be able to exit from the front door back to where we started. Meaning we'd open the door and end up where I live. And that is way too far for us to travel to resume. I see. Can I go to bed now? Oh, another ad break. And these minutes with the ads take so long. I don't care. I look around. It's definitely small, but it's clear he tries to make the most of it. Can I use your bathroom? Cooper looks worried. About that. What? I ask impatiently. There's no running water here. Why? I'm not here often enough to justify it. I usually stay in cheaper pods instead of being transferred home. Cooper, when was the last time you showered? Or even took a bath? It's none of your concern. Jesus fucking Christ, whatever. How do you want me to pee? Just go in the bowl. It'll be fine for a day or two. Glad to hear it. It's down the hall. Got it. Oh my god. There is something wrong with this man. Whatever. Let's just urinate and go the fuck to sleep. I spent a few minutes trying to get sorted. Not being able to wash my hands is bad enough, but I guess I can't even brush my teeth. I chuckle. Yeah, like that's something I should be worrying about right now. I walk back into the living room. Cooper's nowhere to be found. I shake my head, trying to get rid of the headache I'm getting from being up this long. He must have gone to his own room. That's fine. He can give me a tour another time. I don't even bother to turn the lights off. I'm that tired. The lone couch in the room seems like the best bet for tonight. As I walk up, I notice something. A folded blanket. Curious, I pick it up. It smells clean, with a hint of what I think is vanilla. I guess that wolf can be considerate when the mood strikes him. I flop on the couch and take one of the only cushions as a pillow. One thing's for sure. This is better than sleeping in an alley. To my surprise, the lights start to dim. There must be some kind of sensor in the ceiling. I pull the covers over me, move the hair out of my face, and start to finally sleep. Something's sizzling? Groggily, I sit up, trying to ascertain where it's coming from. I can hear it across the room. Sun is pouring out from the lone window. I guess it's morning. Well, morning. I groan as I stretch, and my limbs popping far less than before, but still enough to catch Cooper's attention. God, this man is hot. Oh, morning. Mm-hmm. I yawn as I rub my eyes. Yeah, figures. None of yesterday was a dream. Kinda surprised I didn't have any actual dreams last night, though. I wish I had a notebook and pencil to... I wish I had a notebook and pencil down to... What? I wish I had a notebook to pencil down all my observations, but Cooper probably wouldn't know what that is. Guess I'll have to cope with a mental notebook. I get up and stretch again, before shuffling over to Cooper. He's behind the kitchenette corner. I didn't really notice it last night. Quite frankly, I didn't care. What time is it? About 9:30 in the morning. We got in around 4:30, I think. Not the best night. I don't have most of my memories, so I can't say for certain that it was one of the worst nights of my life. Cooper's frying something on something. He's using a frying pan for sure, but the stove looks weird. At least, I think it's a stove. It has 4 solid red squares elevated from the rest of the stove. It's warm, though, even from here. Wait, so you have electricity but not running water? I have my priorities. Apparently. Hey, if I didn't have to buy every amnesiac I found a new outfit, I'd be able to afford it. I groan. It's a good thing you don't have to. I'm joking. If you say so. He rolls his eyes, and I do too. This is already getting old. Although the smell of what he's cooking catches my attention. It kinda looks like Spam. What are you cooking? Spam. Ah, that explains it. Wait, y'all got Spam here? Sure. He shrugs. Okay, maybe this isn't a dream. Maybe this is some sort of simulation. My eyes start to dart around to look for what's familiar and what isn't. Everything looks like something we'd have on Earth. I place my hand on my back on these ports. You just woke up, and you're already having a panic attack. Huh? Cooper huffs as he flips a piece of Spam. I don't know how many canines you've been around, but your anxiety is easy to read, even a mile away. Relax. But Cooper places the spatula down, and I slowly hold my face so we're eye level. I don't think I read that right. Hold on. Cooper places the spatula down and slowly holds my face so we're eye level. Yeah, no, I did okay. You're gonna be fine. No one is out to get you. You're not gonna get hurt. Just relax and go with everything. That doesn't make sense though, because didn't he say someone was out to get us? This isn't what I was stressing about, but I play along. He already thinks I'm crazy enough. Thanks, Cooper. I pause. But aren't there people actually out to get me? Oh, Right. I'll handle them. Cooper picks up the spatula, backs up, and continues sauteing. Ah! Cooper picks up the spatula, back up, and continues sauteing the spam slices. Thanks, I guess. At least he's trying. Anyway, breakfast will be ready soon. Then you'll need to stay here for the day. Why? I need to go and get some supplies and sell stuff. We're really that far away? Yeah, I'd like to avoid another day session in the pod, so it's best to get as much as we can on foot. All right. I look around. What should I do? Nothing. You don't have to do anything. Well, can I do something? Like what? I don't know. I don't do really well just sitting and doing nothing. That's a first. Most people I bring along love doing nothing. Guess I'm not most people. Clearly. Plus, I do want to help pay you back for the clothes. Oh, for fuck's sake. I hope you're not going to be self-conscious about them. I bought them of my own volition. I know, but I still appreciate it. Cooper rubs the back of his neck with his free paw. I mean, I guess you can clean up if you want to. He pauses. Just try not to touch anything. He gestures vaguely. Weird. You can see my confusion. Okay. I'll put away anything that could hurt you. I'm not a toddler. Right. Sorry. Forgot, old man. That's not much better. Deal with it. He smirks before placing the spam on some plates. I don't know why, but it feels unnatural seeing spam here of all places. Regardless, I join him on the couch and we start to eat our second meal together. Spam transcends all. Once we finish with breakfast, Cooper tells me to wait on the couch for a bit. Eventually, he comes out with crates similar to the ones in the back alley, and he puts them in the living room. There are 4 in total. They're not huge, but they're not small either. Okay, there's nothing but junk in these. You can keep whatever you want, or throw away whatever you want. I don't really care. Thanks, I guess? If there's nothing but junk, then what use am I gonna have for these? Are you training me to be your dumpster diving assistant? What? No. He pauses. Anyway, it's about time I head out. You'll be gone most of the day, right? Yeah, probably until supper. I snort. Supper? What? Nothing. You just use funny vernacular? Whatever. Cooper rolls his eyes before grabbing his jacket and his rifle. Before I leave, let me give you a proper tour of the place. I'll show you what to avoid, such as... I'm glad you asked. My room is off limits. Period. Fine by me. I'm almost scared to imagine the kind of mess of his room. As you can see, there's not much here in the living room. You can vacuum if you want. Carpet could probably use it. The kitchen corner's here. Let's see. Cooper flings the open fridge. It's filled with packages of produce I don't really recognize. Besides one big compartment of something that looks familiar. Are those mushrooms? Yeah, they are. You can have some if you want. I'm not really the biggest fan. So, why do you have so much? They kind of keep for a long time. Useful in a pinch. I got these about 6 months ago, I think. Oh, that's handy. Just wish they tasted better, Cooper says with a grimace. Anyway, there's canisters of water in here if you get thirsty. Okay. Cold water actually sounds nice right about now. There's some other stuff you could eat. I'd say anything on the first 2 shelves will be fine, even without being cooked. Anything below there would probably upset your stomach. Noted. I nod. I'm not the pickiest eater, but I do want to make sure my stomach is at 100% before trying anything foreign. What else? There's the bathroom. Cooper gestures down the only hall leading to the bathroom. I went there last night, but I didn't get the best look. It wasn't very big, so I don't know why he's pointing it out in the tour. Toilet, sink, shower. All of which have no water. For now, I'll see about turning it on for tomorrow. I snap my attention to him. What? If you can get me a hot shower tonight, I'll be yours forever. Who'd want you forever? He smirks before pulling open the shower curtain. There are boxes filling the tub. What's that? My ammo. Why do you keep gun ammo in your shower? Where else am I going to put it all? Oh my god. Cooper can see my dumbfounded expression and snorts. I'm kidding. It's just more storage. I'm not here very often. If you can clear it out before I'm back, the shower is all yours. I start beaming. Now that's incentive. Deal. Try not to look so desperate. It's not an attractive quality. I'm sure you're quite familiar with unattractive qualities. Cooper tries to roll his eyes, but I can see a smirk curling up. That's it for the tour. Do you have any questions or specific needs? I can immediately think of a dozen off my head, but most are superficial wants rather than needs. I think I can think of a few if that's alright. Shoot. Can I get a toothbrush and toothpaste? I saw some in Cooper's bathroom, but I'd like to get my own if it's possible. Probably. I think I can do that. Anything else? Well, time limit, remember? Okay. I just wanted to know if you could get me a journal to write in. I can't afford to get you an Axiom. No, I meant like a physical journal, with pen and paper. You seriously don't write on paper, ever? Cooper raises a brow. I should have expected that. Not really. It's kind of wasteful, isn't it? I don't know what to say to that. What do you do when your Axiom loses battery? It doesn't. Huh? I've had it for a couple years and have never needed to charge it. It's somewhat solar powered. How is that possible? Don't ask me. I didn't make it. Anyway. Oh, right. Could you try to find me a journal and a pen? They have to sell them somewhere. I'll see what I can do. Why do you want them? Just to record my thoughts. Right. That's a completely normal thing to do. Anything else? No, not really. Honestly, if I can get a shower tonight, I'll be content. But I won't let him know that. Alright then. I should get going. You sure you don't need me to do anything specific? Not really. No offense, but I don't think there's much you can do in your state. Just take a moment to rest. Alright, I'll certainly try. If you need to try to rest, you clearly have something to work on. I grimace. I feel like I'm being lectured by Diana. Time limit, remember? Yeah. He's leaving for real this time. This will be the first time I've been on my own in all 12 hours I've been conscious. I have mixed feelings about it. Wait, there was one more thing. I'm taken aback by Cooper. He reaches for my head with his paws, gently placing them on my cheeks and tilting my head up. What the hell are you doing? Looking. I squirm a bit in his grasp. Dude, stop whining. It'll only take a second. I roll my eyes as he expects my head again. He lets go and then circles around behind me. Tilt your head down a bit. I huff, but do what he says. Easier to just go along with it than to put up any sort of argument. To my surprise, he starts to unravel the bandages around my head. Some of my hair slumps down as the bandages were in the headband. What? Is it bad? No, I'd say you're healing fast. That's good. Indeed. Hang on. I'm going to take a closer look. Before I can respond, I feel him parting some of the crusted hair. Thankfully, it still doesn't hurt. I wonder, should I ask him about that? If I could believe more than half of what he says, I'd try. Yeah, I think you'll be just fine. Thanks, Doc. Can you let my hair go now? Cooper does that, and I turn to face him fully. Was that really necessary? Kind of. I did need to check the damage at some point. Wouldn't want my employer to think I hurt you on the way over. How nice of you. Cooper doesn't take the bait, but instead opens his Axiom window. He swipes his inventory sphere screen and tosses the bandages inside. I'm surprised. It only takes a few seconds to digitize. I need to be careful to get rid of these. They could cause trouble. He swipes away the screen. Luckily, I know a guy. Of course you do. Alright, I'm leaving for real now. Godspeed. I have half a mind to push him out at this rate. You sure you'll... I'll be fine, dude. Seriously. There's food and water. How bad could I screw this up? Cooper rests his paw on his chin in thought. Oh my god, just go. Cooper snorts. Right, I'm off. I'll be back tonight. Remember to turn around. Don't look at the doorframe as I leave. I turn on my heel, looking into the living room. Bye, Dad. Have a great day at work. Right. He pats my shoulder before turning on the door. There's a brief light, almost as like someone took a photo. Then it's quiet. I turn around and I'm completely alone. I give the loudest and longest sigh of my life as I spin around to flop onto Cooper's couch. Finally, a moment to process everything that's happened. I give my eyes a really good rubbing, letting the color swirl around my eyelids. What a weird day. I inhale one more time to ground myself. Alright, let's figure some shit out. I sit up and get myself together, briefly going over everything concrete. The alley, my memories, and Cooper. Someone left me in the alley, and I guess for at least a day or two. I wonder why they didn't come back for me. My memories come in at random sometimes. Most are brief flashes. I thought sleeping would trigger longer memories, but last night I didn't remember anything. I hope they're not random. I'd like to find a concrete strategy to get them back. As for Cooper, he's kind of an asshole. He's also taking care of me. I don't really know what to make of him. I still don't trust him fully yet because he's way too secretive. The wolf has his moments though. I'll give him that. I look around his apartment, particularly at those crates. There's a chance something in there could be useful. He said it was mostly junk, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm already becoming a dumpster diver. I don't know how he lives like this. He clearly makes some kind of money. Tells me he's an escort, kind of. From context clues, I'd say he's more of a mercenary. A desperate one at that. Taking a job to bring an amnesiac Mac home seems to be the bottom of the barrel. I chuckled to myself over the absurdity of the situation we both found ourselves in. Then I start to think about the situation itself again, with more scrutiny. Cooper says that he was able to find me from my blood, which I guess makes sense. He had a gun, so maybe he thought an assailant was still around? This all happened a little too quickly, though. The more I think about it, the creepier the situation looks. Cooper was adamant about not being caught by guards. Who would they be guarding? They weren't cops, if anything. It makes sense to me if they were some type of authority. I get up from the couch and start to pace around the room as I get deeper in my own theorizing. Things aren't adding up. I don't think he's lying to me, but he's obviously not telling me the whole truth either. He wants to take me to Presume, but what the hell is that? A sanctuary for humans, he says. Whatever that means. I'm getting antsy again. What else do I know? The Axiom. If I ever get my hands on it, I could probably search for all sorts of things. Wait, no. Cooper said he needs to register me in it. God damn it. My racing thoughts pick up along with my pacing. Wait, the Axiom. He used it right after he found me. He got information from an employer. Information about me. I stop in my tracks. Wait a second. That motherfucker. That also knows so much more about me than I do. I bet the son of a bitch even knows my name. I go from pacing to speed walking with rising annoyance. He has contacts who obviously know about me. How else would they identify me? Just a long, white-haired man with a lot of scars? Lots of people have scars. Cooper has scars, for God's sake. No, they had to have told him my name. And lots more about me. What's worse, if I confront him, he'll just say it's classified. Imagine that. My own name being classified. I can't even be allowed that? God, what the fuck? My stamina starts to run out as I flop back on the couch. I grab the cushion I was sleeping on the night before and start fucking screaming into it. My little fit doesn't last long as I start to feel fatigued. I slump against the couch and laugh. Seriously, I didn't even tell me my own name. I sigh and feel defeated. Looking around, I feel some form of contempt for the wolf. I'm in his apartment, wearing his clothes, eating his food. At this point, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that he owns me. Part of me part of me thinks that I'm overreacting. But due to the fact that he knows more about me than I do, I think I deserve to get a bit upset. You know what? No, he can clean up his own shit. I'm tired and weak. I don't even know why I offered to help him. I cross my arms and sit up on the couch. Then I take a look around. There's not really much else to do around here. I tap my finger on my knees. As tired as I am, I would admittedly be very bored just sitting around here. So I so desperately want to take a nap. But if I'm gonna fix my sleep schedule, I should try to stay up. I resign myself to my fate again and make my way over to the crates Cooper left me. Okay, well, it's not like I'm doing this to help him. I'm doing this so I don't go crazy with boredom. I nod as if I convinced myself. That aside, I inspect the crates. They look to be made of some kind of metal. Each one has a keypad on them, but the screens are all green. I assume that's because Cooper unlocked them for me. Oh my gosh, another ad? I'm gonna snooze that. Sorry. The ones in the alley look similar too. Must be a common means of storage around here. Either that or Cooper just yoinked these and took ownership. Wouldn't be surprised. I huff at the wolf and his living habits. In any case, these should keep me entertained for the coming hours. Not really too much about the order. I just pick the first one on my left. The top pops off smoothly at the hinge. It kind of reminds me of a treasure chest. I'm a bit perplexed at the contents. Certainly not booty. I try to tip over the crate, but my arms aren't strong enough for that. Letting out a loud, annoyed groan, I just scoop a few things and lay them out on the floor. They look like scraps of bigger pieces of technology. These are hunks of metal galore, and some pieces of tech I have no hope of comprehending. I'm starting to think I bit off more than I can chew. I can't really organize anything if I don't know what they are. Just kind of looks like junk to me. Cooper's starting to look less like a wolf and more like a pack rat to me. I have to be careful moving these around. There are some sharp edges and exposed wire with some of the pieces. Guess he didn't think this through. For a moment, the thought of using one of these long shards as a weapon crosses my mind. I shake my head. As desperate as I am, I'm not that stupid. Cooper would easily overpower me. I have to wonder if I ever had experience in self-defense. A memory pops up in my head of Diana absolutely crushing me in an exhibition match that she suggested. Guess not. I sort them into two piles: parts and devices. Parts is mainly junk, but who knows? Cooper might need them for something. Not that I'm doing this for him, obviously. Ugh. Halfway through, I realize something. How am I going to organize these inside the crate itself? I can feel a headache rise. This is so stupid. I think that, but I keep going. At this rate, I'm almost looking forward to making it to resume. Probably more exciting than this, I chuckled to myself. I feel like a kid who was dropped off at an abandoned daycare. I'm nearly done with the contents of the box. As expected, most of it just looks like junk. However, something near the bottom catches my attention. I lean over to pick it up. This feels more like a tablet I would have used, albeit clearly different. The screen itself looks like a black border with a completely transparent middle. The buttons on the side are the only part of the contraption that clue me that it's some kind of screen. I shift to a crisscross position as I attempt to figure out how to operate it. Let's hope there's no passcode or anything. The buttons seem to work, but nothing pops up on the screen. Who knows when this was charged last? Now that I think about it, there weren't many cables or cords in the box. The device doesn't seem to have a port for one to be inserted anyway. How does it function then? I tap the screen mindlessly, trying to elicit some sort of response. What do I know about technology here? I know Cooper's axiom, but that's about it. Wait, his axiom! It's solar powered, he said. Kind of, were his exact words. Maybe I just need to. I get up and walk to the only window in the place. Huh, I guess we're high up. Must be an actual apartment complex. I honestly thought this was the ground floor motel he found himself. Musing aside, I held the tablet against the window for a moment. Nothing happens, and I start to get discouraged. But then it beeps and lights up. I nearly drop it. The screen itself is almost too bright. The screen adjusts soon, easing up on my eyes. I stare at it for a while. Sure enough, I need a passcode, but the background is what's captivating me. There are 5 figures on the screen, Cooper being one of them. Wow, this must be old. He almost looks happy. He's being held in a headlock by a bigger white tiger. The tiger is also headlocking someone else, a human. He looks like a rowdy guy. The hyena on the right, she seems to be egging him on. Finally, on the very left beside Cooper, there's a deer shaking his head. I'm kind of dumbfounded. Cooper obviously had a life, and I have to wonder what happened to it. I dare say he's blushing underneath that tiger's arm. Not that I blame him. He looks strange without his scars. This must have been from a while ago. I guess this wasn't a total waste. I'm sure he'd be happy to have a memento like this. Oh my gosh, I keep accidentally hitting the screenshot button. Water activated. I once again nearly dropped the tablet as I hear something over the apparent apartment intercom. Wait, water? Activated? That means I can finally take a shower. I gently set the tablet on the windowsill to let it charge, then speed walk my way over to Cooper's bathroom with a big smile plastered on my face. It took me longer than I would have liked to clear out all the ammunition Cooper stored in the bathtub. Seriously, if he's resorted to using his bathroom like this, I really have to wonder what he keeps in his room. Even though I've worked up a good sweat moving everything, I don't mind. I feel like I've accomplished something. Now that I have a working shower to myself, I could care less too. Inspecting the rest of the bathroom, there only seems to be 2 towels. I hope they're washed. I'm not gonna risk smelling them though. Ugh. Now that I think about it, most of the stuff looks like what we had back home. The idea of reality being some kind of simulation crosses my mind again. Funnily enough, that would be the most logical explanation for everything that's happening right now. Though, I've given up on waking up. Without hesitation, I strip off my turtleneck, avoiding the mirror over the sink. Don't need any body dysmorphia right now. The showers are right, but I'm not exactly sure how to operate it. The faucet for the bath looks normal, and so does the shower head, but there are no handles or dials. It's basically just a wall of tile. I try knocking on the tile against the tiles to see if anything would happen. Nothing, obviously. Man, what the fuck? I finally get a chance to shower and I'm not even sure how to use it. Where's Cooper when I need him? Not that it happens often. Actually, I've needed him for every step of the way so far, but that's besides the point. Wait, that's it. I should try to put myself in Cooper's shoes to see how he'd go about this. Even though he doesn't wear shoes. I'm distracting myself again. I need to figure out how this damn thing works. Cooper seems to be using his Axiom for everything. Maybe there's a piece of technology here that can operate the showers. I run towards the sink and get briefly startled by my reflection. I still look like bloody hell. Oh well, these kind of casual encounters with my parents should help elevate future anxieties. At least that's what I keep telling myself. I shake my head and focus once more. Then I look through some of the nearby cabinets. There are some things that look like toiletries, I think. Bottles and lotions. I guess those are a universal concept. Some look like the canister Cooper kept his water in. Curious, I slide my finger at the top and smell the contents. It's kind of floral. I think it's shampoo. There's a decent amount in here. I could definitely use a bit for my hair. Would he miss it? Actually, I wonder if he knew he had shampoo in the first place. Well, That was a nice find, but I still need a way to operate the shower. Rifling through the rest of the cabinets is fruitless, though there'd be some thought there'd be some deodorant around somewhere, but I guess that's more of a human thing. With the shampoo being my only boon, I close the cabinets and turn around. I look in the mirror, this time with more confidence. I chose not to dwell on the reflection as I stick my hand under the mirror itself and pull. The mirror moves open like a door. Huh, it's pretty old-timey to have a medicine cabinet like that. Although I'm not exactly sure what constitutes old-timey around these parts. Unlike the cabinets, this seems promising. A yellow fur-covered brush, along with some toothbrushes. Sadly, just canine toothbrushes. I doubt they do me much good. I don't even want to think about what canine toothpaste tastes like. Brushes aside, there's something that catches my eye. It looks like a smartphone. I pick it up and try to fiddle with it, while still being cautious. Wouldn't want it to blow up or anything, or something. To my surprise, it lights up almost immediately. If I'm right, it's exactly what I'm looking for. The screen has a gauge labeled water along the sliders at the bottom, set to the middle, half blue, half red. Geez, these guys need tablets just to use their showers? I can tell if this is bougie or just lazy. I pause. Probably both. Looking over at the screen, it seems rudimentary enough. The big button that I'm pressing, there's a big button that I'm guessing is the start button. As one does with big buttons, I press it. After a slight pause, the bathtub faucet starts to pour out water. I go fill it, and it's lukewarm. I slide the assumed temperature sliders to the left and right of the gauge for the feel. It changes temperature pretty fast. That's kind of cool. Although, unless the tablet's waterproof, I'm not sure how you'd adjust it mid-shower. I decide not to test it just in case, and slide it almost to the end of the red side. Steam starts filling the room as the faucet spews out hot water. There's another option that can be turned off and on. Time for the ad break, guys. Alright, and time to hydrate for me. Alrighty, I think we're back. So there's another option that can be turned off and on. I tap it and the faucet stops before the shower head starts. Damn, look at that. Maybe I can be somewhat independent. I smile at my accomplishments and set the tablet back on the sink. Once I get my pants off, I've met with my final nemesis, my underwear. Even in the dressing room, I didn't take them off. Unlike my face and chest, I'm not particularly nervous as to what I look like down there. I'm more curious than anything. With a half shrug, along with the increasing anticipation of a hot shower, I go for it and slide them off. Everything looks fairly normal to me, disregarding the white hair. One last curiosity remains. I know I'm not hard, but I take my thumb and measure down to the tip. Huh? I'm bigger than I remember. I chuckled to myself before I finally entered the shower that I've longed for. The thought crossed my mind that, due to the lack of pain, some other senses might be dulled. Thankfully, it's not the case with the hot water. This feels absolutely wonderful. I could probably make it hotter, but even if I can't feel pain, it wouldn't be good for my skin. Even so, I can practically feel the years melt away. I snort, sounding like the old man Cooper thinks I am. To be fair, Damien used to make fun of my lack of stamina even back then. I'll need to make him proud by getting my strength back up. I sigh before shaking my head. As much as I miss him, I need to stay positive. I'll figure out a way back to him. One shower at a time. It takes a while to dry all of my wet hair after I exit the shower. The shampoo was also hard to rinse out completely, which makes sense. I should have used common sense that it was meant for canines. But it was worth the effort. My hair feels silky and soft. I wrap the towel around my waist and I stand in front of the mirror. Not sure why I'd look less weird with a head full of damp hair. I debate on using Cooper's fur brush, but decide against it. I'd rather not smell like him any more than I have to. After scooping up my clothes, I make my way back to the living room. Guess once I'm dry, I'll have to put these on again. Ugh, it's kinda gross. I don't know how cartoon characters can wear the same clothes every day without incident. I set them on the armrest of the couch. The least I can do is let them air out a bit. I plop my skinny butt back on the couch and take a breather. Man, that shower took a lot out of me, in a good way. It was a relaxing experience I desperately needed. I wish I had a hair tie or something, though. My hair's almost dry, but it's still a bit heavy from the water. Not to mention, my hair's making a bit of mess, which I should have thought of. I get it from the couch, and yeah, the back is damp now. Whoops. It'll probably dry by the time Cooper gets back. I wonder how he's doing. I hope he's okay. I grumbled to myself. I guess I'm not so good at being independent yet after all. It takes about 20 minutes for me to dry off completely. Rubbing all of my hair down with the towel was kind of exhausting, and now I look extra fluffy. The temptation to using the dog brush grows. I let it go. My hair will settle at some point, hopefully. Not wanting to get into my sweaty clothes yet, I have to just wear my underwear for a while. Cooper's not going to be back for a long time anyway. Once I give myself a good stretching section, I circle back to the remaining crates. The junk crate has been picked clean with barely anything worthwhile in it. I'm both curious and skeptical about the rest. The thought crosses my mind I could do Cooper's dishes for him now that the water's back on. The annoying thing is, I actually like doing the dishes, but I'm not giving Cooper any reason to talk down on me. So instead, I set out to sort out his trash. Wow, this really is a lose-lose situation. At the very least, there's a chance I find something useful. Just a chance, though. I sigh loudly before picking up the crate to sift through. To my surprise, it feels pretty light. I can move it around with ease and probably pour the contents out this time. Curious once more, I open the lid. It's full of clothes. Clothes I don't think Cooper would wear. My curiosity fades, being replaced with worry. Dumping the contents on the carpet, I'm met with a mishmash of everything. There are even a few pairs of shoes. Okay, we're really gonna have to talk about his hoarding habits. Sure, most of the trash is organized from what I've seen, but why keep the trash to begin with? I sift through the articles of clothing. It's kinda creepy. There are several pairs of pants along with a few pairs of shorts. He even has underwear in here. What the fuck? Wait a second. Cooper said I could have whatever I find in these things. I'm sure that was just some failed attempt of getting rid of his old junk. But if there's actual clothes in here that I could wear, then this might be a treasure trove. Motivation is a hell of a drug, I think to myself, and I start to organize all of my new potential outfits. I have everything neatly arranged on the floor in about 15 minutes. Sadly, most of the clothes look too big for me. I hate being such a twig. It doesn't help that these are clearly for certain species of beastmen.
Still, I was able to salvage a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and that don't look awful. I smell them. Thankfully, they don't seem like they've been worn too much. Just a bit musty, which I can deal with. I wouldn't go into a public place. I wouldn't go into public in something like this, but at least I make good pajamas. That outfit Cooper bought me is nice and all, but I'd rather not sleep in it. Too sweaty for my taste. There doesn't seem to be a washer and dryer around here, so I should limit how I wear my clothes. Once I get my makeshift casual outfit, I decide to look through the shoes I found. There are two pairs of boots, some dress shoes, and some sneakers. I don't exactly have big feet. Considering how big most of the clothes were, I'm not getting my hopes up. Surprisingly, all but one of the pair of shoes fits me well enough. Maybe a little tight on the dress shoes and big on the boots, but definitely wearable. The sneakers fit almost perfectly, although they're a bit dirty. Still, as much as I like the snazziness the dress shoes bring to the table, I don't think they would be a good idea for the long journey ahead. I'm not in a position to value style over functionality. The boots make sense though. They seem to provide some decent protection. From a comfort perspective, I think I'll just go with the sneakers. Maybe Cooper has an extra bag somewhere so I can bring my own stuff in. Said stuff being secondhand clothing and maybe a toothbrush. Still, it's nice to have to call some things my own, even if they were kind of given to me, and by a strange man no less. Regardless, it's a start. I fold all the extra clothes back up and lay them in the crate, instantly creating twice as much space in the thing. I know he's a hoarder, but this is ridiculous. Where does he even find this stuff? Maybe I should ask to go along one of his dumpster diving ventures. Then I could at least find things that are 100% mine. Although, that would imply I'd even see him pass next week. Oh, right. I'm only here for one reason. To get to resume. I chuckle to myself. Man, I am desperate. Once again, I cave in to my desires to kill the boredom and decide to clean the dishes. I give up on trying to convince myself that this isn't for Cooper. Mainly because it isn't. He's just lucky he has a bored amnesiac who needs to keep his mind busy. I'm not sure how he gets anything done around here, if he does at all. Wow, I really am thinking about him a lot. I say, putting down one of the freshly cleaned dishes. I guess that's somewhat reasonable. He's the only form of contact I have in this place. It makes sense It makes sense that I cling to any sort of normalcy, especially considering how not normal some of the things around here are. Although, that does beg a few questions. Why do some things seem familiar? The clothes I found, the food we've eaten, and the appearance of the buildings and furniture in it remind me of how things are back in my own life. Well, from what I remember. Placing the last dish down, I reach back and gingerly trace around the metal ports embedded in my spine. Maybe I'm not crazy. It's possible that this could be a simulation. Or rather, given the notion that I could have been attached to something with these, my past life could have been a simulation. There's nothing I could prove that Damien and or Diana exist at all. Despite it, I shake my head. I'm not letting myself spiral for a second time today. They do exist. My love for the both of them isn't something I made up. The fact that they're all I remember at this point proves my relationship with them was strong. That's what I tell myself anyway. I take a deep breath and calm myself. In due time, I'm going to see them again. I know it. I take another deep breath, although it breaks into a yawn when I go to exhale. Oh no, okay, that was not planned. Who would have thought that apartment cleaning for a hoarder, along with having multiple existential crises, would make someone so sleepy? Looking around, there doesn't seem to be a readily available clock. Cooper probably just uses his Axiom for it. In that case, I can just use the tablet I found. I will need to ask him for the passcode. He did say I could have most of what I found after all. Might as well get some use out of it. Thankfully, the lock screen has a time on it. It's a little past noon. I've only been up for a few hours, yet I feel totally exhausted. You know what? Screw my sleep schedule. I'm tired. I deserve a nap. I feel like it's been forever since I've had one. And who am I to deny myself one of life's simplest pleasures? Once I make up a totally not bad decision of sleeping at noon, I rub my stomach for a second. I'm not hungry yet. I guess I can't imagine I'll be out for that long. I was no stranger to eating lunch at 2 p.m. during my undergrad after all. I remember when I told Diana that I considered 11:59 to be breakfast still. She blew a gasket. It didn't help when I woke up 20 minutes before that since I was... What was I doing? Ugh, I can't even have an inner monologue without getting stumped. Okay, that's enough distractions for one afternoon. I deserve a bit of R&R. I get myself comfy on the couch again. It's not super cold in the room, but I drape the blanket across my legs anyway. I'm still not sure if my body can regulate its own temperature. I'll need to test the limits and senses of touch at some point too. But that can come later. For now, I drift off into a well-deserved nap. I'm not sure how long I've been out. Not more than a few hours. Even so, I'm starting to wake up. I think someone turned on one of the lights in the kitchen. I'm so exhausted that I chalk it up to nothing but dream shenanigans. That's when I hear the sound of a door open, along with an irritating creak to go with it. I can't even flutter my eyelids open. I decide to say fuck it and try to drift back to sleep. If I die, I die. Russ? Sigh. Hey. Hey, Cyrus, wake up. Just like that, the blanket I planted on my head to block out the extra light is torn right off. What? My body aches as I'm forced out of my short slumber. The special kind of ache that makes you feel like you're in slow motion. Damien? What the hell? Don't you Damien me, mister. You promised you'd get up early with me and go running. I limply turn over to look at the alarm clock. It's 5:55 a.m. I said I'd get up at 6. Those extra minutes would have helped. Damien scratches the back of his head. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. I guess I got a bit excited. I can hear his tail swish. We haven't gotten to hang out like this in a while, so... I exhale with a smile on my face. I can't get mad at him for something like this. No worries. I just had a rough night of sleep. Too rough? Not rough enough to keep me from our date. Damien's ears perk at that, as he dons that big goofy smile of his. I can barely see him in the moonlight, but he's as adorable as ever. Although, if you want to make up for it, there's still 3 minutes before I promised I'd get up. Sleepily, I pat the extra space on the bed. Mind joining me? I could use some warming up now that someone snatched my blanket. Damien snorts at that before circling around to the other side of my bed. It would be my pleasure to be your body pillow this morning, Si. Glad to hear it. Just know I intend to hit the snooze button at least once or twice. I guess I can let that slide. Just this once. They're so cute together. We giggle as I invite Damien under the covers. His warm fur instantly pulls me back to sleep. But not before I feel his feline tail curl up around my leg. It's a habit he picked up from our numerous cuddle sessions. Yeah, that snooze button is going to get a workout this morning for sure. Chapter 3. Bygone. It isn't until after I press the snooze button for the 3rd time that Damien finally coerces me to get out of bed. And by coerces, I mean picking me up and bringing me to the bathroom to get ready. Babe. I groan with a dry throat and a tired voice. Babe, do I need to force you into the shower again? No. I pat his back, our signal for him to put me down. Besides, you know I like to shower after our runs. That's true, but... He dons a mischievous look, one I'm all too familiar with. I was talking more about a cold shower to wake you up. I shudder. That's the last thing I need right now. I know your name is Damien and all, but you don't have to act like the Antichrist first thing in the morning. I tease before giving a long yawn. It's more like the 4th thing in the morning. Someone wanted to cuddle. Who could blame me? Your fur is just so inviting. I cling to him again, face planting into his chest. Ah, my favorite pillows. Damien clears his throat, his voice tinged with embarrassment. Sorry. I'll get ready now. You better. We'll miss the sunrise at this rate. Oh no, the horror. Once I finally detach myself from my boyfriend, I give myself a moment for a long stretch. I look at the clock. It's nearly 6:20 now. We'll need to hurry. The sun usually rises around 7 this time of year. I was looking forward to our morning workout, to be fair. The Arizona winters are more amicable than up north, so it's nice that we can work out together more often. Although that's offset by the summers. It's too hot to even attempt to exercise in July. To that end, we decided to run together at least once a week during the winter. Damien didn't complain. His fur made it hard to work out in the summer anyway. Just another thing we have in common. I got some new protein shake stuff the other day. While I get ready, could you make us some? Can do. He beams as he heads out of the bathroom. Just don't take too long, or else I'm gonna assume you fell back asleep. He looks behind me to the shower. It'd be a shame if I had to get the bucket again. I reach for my razor before taunting him with it. It'd be a shame if a certain tiger gave himself an inverted mohawk again. That was one time, he stammers, to which I snicker at. It's okay, babe. You'd look good as a hairless cat. He gives me a loud before leaving me to my own devices. He's so cute when he's flustered. I look at myself in the mirror. It's been a few days since I last shaved, so I'm a bit scruffy. Never was one for facial hair. Thankfully, it never takes me too long to pretty myself up. Once I finish rinsing my hair down the drain, I go and brush my teeth. I start mentally going over everything I need to do today. This is one day I vowed to take completely off. No studying, no dissertation prep, just spending a nice time with Damien. After about 10 minutes, I look somewhat presentable. Although, I'm already looking forward to my shower when we get back. Time to get dressed. Damien definitely rubbed off on me when it comes to dressing for a workout. The sleeveless top and shorts are hard to beat. I look at the clock. It's 6:33. Maybe those extra snoozes were a bad idea. Can't let Damien know that though. He'd rightfully make fun of me. I scan the room one more time to make sure I have everything, and I'm pretty sure I do. Damien is on the couch sorting through his backpack. Hey, I'm just about ready. You got everything? Think so. You? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sure you don't want earmuffs? Yeah, this temperature is basically spring weather for me. What about you? Don't worry. He pulls up his hood. I came prepared. I can't help but clutch my chest. God, that hoodie is super cute. One of my better investments, that's for sure. I shake my morning butterflies out and gesture towards the door. Come on. We got a few miles to get under our belts. Damien puts his backpack on and tosses me a shake. Just try to keep up with me. I don't know. That butt is nice to stare at. Oh, wow. Someone's feeling frisky this morning. What's the occasion? Oh, nothing. Don't get used to it. Wouldn't dream of it. Damien winks and we both laugh before making our way out to the dormitory. It's nice to have a partner who's willing to go along with my quirks. They are so freaking cute together. I love it. What say you want to turn this into a race? Interesting proposition. What do you have in mind? Last one to our goal has to buy the winner whatever they want at the cafe. Oh lord, I don't think I'd have enough funds to handle your caffeine addiction. Guess you're just gonna have to beat me then. I'll see you at the hilltop benches. And with that, Damien speeds off. Hey, no fair. I'm the one who needs a handicap here. I yell and I start trying to catch up to him. It's still fairly dark out, and what's worse is that the nature trail that we take doesn't have too many lights. Damien told me because he's a tiger, he has better night vision, so I usually just follow his lead. He's only tripped a few times on our outings, so it's pretty reliable. I'm usually nervous to wear headphones at this time in the morning. There are a few benches along the path that are by light posts. The path goes around the city, Just by counting the benches, I can somewhat figure how far we've gone. After the 11th one, I call out to Damien through some haggard breathing. Day, let's take a break, okay? I can hear Damien screech to a stop. His breathing not nearly as bad as mine. Sure, it has been a couple of miles. I'm impressed you could barely run a mile this time last year. All thanks to my wonderful coach. I can't even finish the quip between my gasping for breaths. Damien jogs to meet me at the bench, handing me a bottle of water. Take slow sips and don't sit down. It'll make it harder to keep going. I know. I grumble gratefully as I drink some water. We're about halfway through our run at this point, and thankfully, it was pretty uneventful. Damien noticed my constant looking behind us. You okay? Yeah, why? You aren't usually tense. What's up? Oh, sorry. I'm not trying to be, but running at this time in the morning hasn't been the same for a while. Yeah, I getcha. That's why we'll stick together, okay? I nod. A few months ago, Damon and I ran into someone who I'm pretty sure was a meth head. Thankfully, it was 2-on-1 and someone's already out. But still, I'd rather not have to see Damien bloodied up like that again. Aww. It's a big reason why we haven't done this in a while. I didn't think my first time doing real first aid would be on my boyfriend. I shake my head, trying to get rid of the worries. This is supposed to be our safe space. I'm not going to let some druggie ruin it for us. Against my better judgment, I splash some water on my face. The cooler night does its job and snaps me out of my broodiness. Sigh. Phew. Okay, let's keep going. If we want to make it, we'll need to be faster, right? I try to put a brave face on for Damien. We've been looking for forward to a day like this for so long. A day where our schedules finally align. He puts on the goofy smile that I've fallen for. Right. I sprint past him, but my lead doesn't last long. Not that I mind. A little healthy competition goes a long way. Damien has that competitive edge in him, even for a morning jog. The silent night is starting to fade, partly due to our excessive panting, but mainly due to the rising sun ahead of us. Come on, Sai. We're almost there. My ability to give a verbal response dissipated about 4 miles ago. I just give him the thumbs up as I force myself up that final hill. Curse my love for this man. I hope he knows he's the only person on earth I'd do this for. Almost there. Almost there. Damien weaving me near the top. He's backlit by the rising sun. The only thing keeping me going at this point is him. I have to shield my eyes from the sun. The transition from night to day catches me off guard to the point where I nearly trip. I didn't even realize I had already sped past Damien. Thankfully, Damien catches me from behind before I go flying off the hill. Whoa there, Tiger. Calm down. My legs are kicking a bit as if it's still running, but they sputter soon after being caught. Everything feels like putty, and I have no choice but to slump against Damien's chest. Not that I mind, of course. He's breathing fairly hard, too, which calms my own breathing down, ironically enough. Safe to say, we took this morning run a little too seriously. You'd think it was a marathon the way that we were running. Diana was right. He's really rubbed off on me. I win. Good one. Not kidding. I got to my destination first. Huh? I reached up and squished his cheeks fluff. I can feel his face flush a bit from that. You haven't made it to the benches yet, but I never said those were my destination. Mine was just to get to you, I snicker. That'll teach him to pull a fast one on me, literally. Damien huffs and grumbles. He knows when he's lost. You're so lame. There's undeniably some embarrassment in his voice. He's never been one to take loss easily. You're just lucky I went easy on you this time, on account of it being a while for you. Babe, I run all the time, just in the afternoon. Time for a victory lap. Damien cuts me off and giggles before he spins me around in his arms. Oh no, it's a signature move. Hey, hey, come on, don't be a sore loser. He's not going fast, but my body is so fried, I'm powerless to stop him. Gotta give the winner the attention he deserves. Our joint laughter breaks the morning calm on this hilltop we found ourselves on. Damien's laughter lasts longer than mine. Who would have thought that having a laughing fit while recovering from a workout would be so difficult? It took us about 15 minutes to recover from our impromptu victory lap. Damien announces that he's the loser, and he get us both some water. There's no way in hell I was going to turn that down. Here, it's warmer than the stuff we brought around. Just drink it slowly. That's my line. Who's trying to become the doctor again? Oh yeah, who's actually enjoying trying to become a doctor again? Damn, you got me there. We clink our paper cones full of water, a classic park commodity. How's that going, by the way? It's going. One of my professors is a complete tool, but most of the other professors make the program manageable. That's good. I was a bit worried. Diana told me you were having trouble adjusting for a while. Yeah, I can't deny it. It's hard to move from your passion to, well, something that isn't your passion. You're sure you're okay with that? I've made my peace with it now. I know my folks just want the best for me. They're not the only ones. You just let us know if you need anything, alright? Duly noted. Thanks, Day. I rub the top of his head out of appreciation. He almost instantly starts purring. Adorable. What about you? How is your last year of undergrad going? It's going. His purr stops and he looks down at the ground. I move my hand down his back and begin rubbing in circles. What's going on? It's nothing serious. That's bullshit. Hey now, you can't offer me help without letting me help you too. What's up? Damien shifts to lean forward. It's really not that serious. I'm just not doing as well as I need to get in class. That sounds fairly serious, Damien. I know. Do you want to come over so I can help you? You're already dealing with your master's course. Oh, ad break. Time to get some water. God, I love these two. I can almost feel the love that they have for each other just reading these comments and reading these lines. It just... the story writing is amazing in this game. I can see why it was recommended. Alright, welcome back from the ad break. And I just want to say, I can definitely feel the love between these two. I'm kind of tearing up reading this, so I'm sorry if you kind of hear me sputter and cry a bit. I'll try not to, but I'm doing my best. You're already dealing with your master's courses. You and Diana. I don't want to distract either of you just because I'm bad at math. Well, math was no cakewalk for me either. I'm not really looking forward to doing any measurement training. And anyways, I wouldn't have offered to help you if I didn't want to. You can rely on me too, alright? Okay. Damien leans his furry form into me, and I give him some reassuring back rubs. From what Diana told me, he's always had issues with school. He enrolled later than most people in university, and was only able to afford it due to his sports scholarship. We've had our fair share of all-nighters over the past couple years, even before we started dating. I'm willing to spend months awake just to make sure he keeps his scholarship. Oh, that is the most like cute thing that I've ever read. I want to cry. Sorry, give me like 1 second. I'm tearing up. Remember that Diana wanted you to become a math teacher before grad school. Oh, remember that Diana wanted to become a math teacher before grad school. You'd be doing her favors by letting her teach you. Didn't she used to tutor you when you were growing up? Oh yeah, I wouldn't have been able to make it past Algebra 101 in high school if it weren't for her. I leaned back on the bench, breathing in the cool, refreshing air. Actually, we met when we were in 3rd grade. My scores were so bad halfway through the term that my teachers were already prepping me to be held back. I remember being so scared. My stomach was in knots when I called my mom. I was definitely crying, and my teacher just shook her head. She wasn't happy, of course, but she tried to calm me down. From what I heard, she's never been the kind of mom to punish you when you were trying your best. She certainly had a way of seeing the whole picture. When Dad got home, he tried to help me the best he could, but with homework until Mom came home. He wasn't very good at math either, though. I think I got that from him. I shake my head, getting off topic. Anyway, I remember what happened after that call went very well. It's one of the only vivid memories from back then. I had my face down on my desk with my arms around my head. To block the light, I was sniveling and crying. Then, a heavy textbook slammed on my desk. I jumped up, trying to hide my crying. Hey, why are you crying so dang much? Well, Well, what? Spit it out already. Sorry. I haven't been doing very well lately, and do you need some help? Huh? Well, have no fear. Diana is here. Damien and I burst out, laughing over my impression of her. Really was a 9-year-old superhero. Ever since then, she's had my back, and vice versa. That's honestly so cheesy, I might cry. Wouldn't blame you. She really was that kind of kid. She told me that you used to get picked on too, and that she got in trouble for kicking someone's teeth out. To be fair, they were already rotting out of their skull from all the candy they stole from me. Damien snorts before pulling me under his arm for a side hug. Well, if you ever run into any more candy-stealing douchebags, you just give me a ring, and I'll be there ASAP. Oh, come on. At least let me try to fight my own battles. I can handle myself. Can you? Hey, I'll have you know I've beaten Diana before. You mean the time she got her wisdom teeth out, and despite the fact that she was hooped up on loopy gas, still nearly kicked your ass? So, I was thinking on getting a double shot espresso frap from the cafe with extra whipped cream. I try to casually change the subject. My failure is obvious. Daring today, aren't we? Damien teases me as he ruffles my hair. Normally, I tell him to stop, but it's already a mess, so I let it go. This time. You know, that's a good point. Since it's your treat, I think we should do something extravagant. I'm not sure how extravagant you're going to get at that old joint. Guess we better head over there and find out. I sit up and stretch. My legs still feel a bit tight, but not enough to keep me from part 2 of our date. Damien takes my hand and we start our trek down the hill. I love these goofballs. They're so cute. I'm so glad that I had my punch card filled out for your order. Guess you better think about your bets more carefully then, huh? I tease as I start to chip away at the mound of whipped cream on top of my concoction of sugar and caffeine. Apparently, good thing you offered to share with me, right? I sure did. As much as this looks yummy, there's no way I'd be able to finish it on my own. I pass the spoon over to Damien. We come here so much that they just know to give me an extra spoon for the whipped cream at this point. Damien sits down next to me at our usual booth. The thing here is always busted, so it's all actually kind of chilly. It's old. I think it's from the early 2000s. Damien found it on early 2000s. Damn, I feel old. Damien found it in one of his runs a few years ago, and he's been coming ever since. And eventually he brought me along. It's one of my favorite places on earth. Do you want me to get you some actual coffee? I know sweet stuff isn't your first choice. It's fine. Guess we'll call it my just desserts. I groan as Damien snickers as he plants the straw in to take its first sip. It's almost as sweet as you, babe. I groan louder. Stop! Now I'm the one who's feeling flushed. Damien can at least hide it with his fluff. Meanwhile, I'm stuck with my love for my boyfriend plastered clearly on my face. The tragedy of it all? No. Is someone feeling red in the face? Damien pulls me in again to pepper kisses on my cheek. You really are the Antichrist. And you're my favorite devotee. Damien. As usual, he knows just what to do to get me blushing, and just how to take advantage of that. Not that I mind, of course. I give up trying to fight. I give up trying to fight back and give in to the booth-side cuddle session. It's a bit awkward, but we've had plenty of practice. It usually ends with me leaning against his shoulder as he keeps me close. I can feel his heartbeat. It's still fast from our earlier workout. Wouldn't be surprised if I fell asleep here. I'm that comfortable. My fern stirs me a bit as it vibrates in Damien's backpack. Wonder who it could be. Damien rummages through my bag. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm tearing up, so it's getting hard to read. Damien rummages through his bag and passes me my phone. There's a new message from Diana, along with an attachment. Taking care of the cats is going great, but Xander keeps eating Mikhail's food. Please teach your son some manners. The attachment is a picture of Diana holding up one of my cats, showing us the naughty boy. Oh, that's right. Your folks are out of town back home. Yeah, they thought of a quick vacation since I told them I'd be staying over They thought of a quick vacation since I told them I'd stay over campus over break. You still didn't have to do that. But I wanted to, and that's that. This is just day one of our break together. Let's enjoy it the best we can. Damien's trying to fight it, but his mouth curls into a bashful smile. Sounds like a plan, Si. This time, it's me trying to bring Damien in for a side hug. He's a bit too heavy for me to pull, so he's gotten accustomed to just playing along. I love you, Cyrus. I love you too, Damien. I nuzzle into his cheek fluff, and his purr revs up once again. We sit in silence for a little while, enjoying this quiet moment together. Once we've had our fill of silence, we both wave to one of the waitresses. We decided we might as well share breakfast together while we're here. The sun's almost fully up at this point. It's 8:15 a.m. We got ourselves another round of coffee to go, albeit with 90% less sugar. This is just for the caffeine. Hope you guys have a good holiday. Damien shouts to the employees as he leaves while I'm paying the tab. I usually give him a good tip. They've always been really good to Damien. Alright, thanks for the great meal. Y'all are one of the only places still open, before getting up from the booth and waving goodbye as well. Oh my god, I am kind of crying. The warmth of the morning sun is welcome. It's almost worth waking up at 6 a.m. Thanks for paying, Si. I appreciate it. Don't mention it. You ready to head back? Yeah. I hold up my hand and he grabs it almost instantly. We take our time walking home. By the way, do you want some help moving in? I don't have much to bring. You sure it'd be okay? I don't think it's technically allowed, but most of the staff are gone for 2 weeks at least. If anyone asks, I'll just explain to them what's going on. It's annoying that the undergrad dorms don't stay open during break. It'll be good practice for down the road. Damien nearly chokes on his coffee. Babe, warn me next time. Well, expect the unexpected. It's not even that sudden anyways. We've been discussing it for a while now. I know, but it still feels surreal. I know what you mean. I sigh happily, squeezing his paw a bit. When I drop you off, I can head back and scrounge up some stuff. Want to meet me there around 3 o'clock? The dorm should be locking up at around 5 tonight. It's a date. Aren't I lucky? Getting 2 dates in one day. Cheers. We clink our paper cups together before taking another swig of the caffeine juice. That'll give me just enough time to get ready. I got some new outfits I want to try out this holiday. I don't know how you can wear that stuff. It looks so tight. They kind of are, but it's less about the comfort and more about the fashion. Oh, speaking of, I get Damien to stop so I can sift through his backpack. After a minute of rummaging, I reveal my prize, a glasses case. I can't believe you still have those. I can. They're one of my most prized possessions. I proudly put on a pair of glasses. Damien got them for my birthday last year, and I've been wearing them ever since. I wish I could have gotten you something else. That was your first birthday ever after we got together, and they're not anything special. He's being a bit bashful, but I won't have any of it. You worked your butt off for them, Damien. That's why they mean so much to me. I use my middle finger to adjust them. Damien, you're why they're special. They're way better than anything a designer brand could come up with. Come on, Sai. You're being overdramatic. His tail is swishing. He's always been anxious about gifts. Despite his reputation on the court, he has bouts of damaging self-conscious. I blame his folks. I use this opportunity to build up his confidence, like he did mine. You know, I get my hospital ID badge with these on. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up again. You know, I got my hospital ID badge with these on. That should arrive when school starts back up. You did? His voice betrays a hint of doubt. Yes, sir, I did. I love them, just like I love you, Damien. Before he can reply, I take his hand in mine and pull him closer so I can plant a kiss on his fluffy cheek. He bristles for a moment before relaxing, his voice a bit shaky. Thanks, Cyrus. Sorry, I shouldn't get so emotional over stuff like this. You're allowed to feel whatever you want, Damien, okay? He nods, trying to put up a brave face. Okay. We walk in silence for a bit, besides the occasional sip from our coffees. I want to give Damien some time to collect himself. I try to act natural by looking at the buildings trails around us, so he doesn't notice I see him wiping his face. Once he takes a deep breath, I start back up. So, were your parents really fine with you staying on campus? Yeah, they were cool about it. I told them it was for a few reasons, and they didn't bat an eye. What were the reasons? Well, I'm holding one of their paws right now. I give the paw a squeeze, and a bashful smile comes out again. You're so corny. What else, though? It might be one of my last winters here on campus, and I wanted to see the city when it was nice and quiet. It's almost a completely different town when the students are gone. We start making our way through the maze of crosswalks to get up to our favorite bridge. It's nice, but it does kind of suck most of the best places closed down. I guess so, but that means we can find some more hidden gems, like the cafe. Very true. Maybe we can even find some antique shops. One of my friends back in Vermont would take me along when we got the chance. Found some interesting things, to say the least. You're such an old man. Maybe we can find a candy store to get you some hard candies. Come on now, respect your elders. Besides, you know I have a sweet tooth, so I gladly accept them. You make a great case for yourself, old-timer. I ruffle Damien's fur again. He's giggling all the while. Whippersnapper. Oh hey, looky. Damien stops dead in his tracks and points. And where he points, I look. Oh my gosh. At this point, the sun is well above the horizon, illuminating the wintry Arizona morning. Wow. Pretty, right? It sure is. I wonder how it'd look covered in snow. Good luck with that. It'd probably melt the second it lands. Who knows? Maybe one day. I'd love to share a nice snowy night with a certain tiger. I'd love to be said tiger. I would too. We spend a decent amount of time admiring the scenery, sipping our coffee while we hold each other close. Yeah, staying on campus was a good call. The campus is uncharacteristically quiet. There's not even a single red Solo cup on the ground. As much as I loved our morning together, I desperately need that shower. Damien walking me back home. Damien's walking me back home. Quite an eventful morning we had together. Do you want me to pick you up? Usually I'd say no, since it's a nice walk through campus. But after our marathon, I think that'd be best. Sounds good. This is gonna be fun. A whole 2 weeks together. Shh, we still gotta keep it on the down low. Someone might hear. Let them hear. I want everyone to know. I cut him off by clapping my palm over his snout. No, bad kitty. He just starts purring as if nothing happens. Sigh. I love this goober. We're almost home. This would usually be where we say goodbye for a while, but not this time. This time, it'll actually be see you later. Hey, Cyrus. I love you, and... Oh my gosh, I am tearing up so bad right now. I am so sorry. He's starting to say something else, but it's hard to make out what it is. Everything goes dark a moment. Until I'm met with... sorry. Human, are you deaf? Wake the fuck up already. Cooper's voice. He sounds worried for some reason. As I wake up, I feel like if I've been hit with a defibrillator. I jolt up, head-butting Cooper right in his snout, causing him to stumble backwards. He's yelling in pain, which only makes it harder for me to get a grip on what's happening. I try to ignore him. I'm too busy coming to. Fuck! God! What's gotten into you? I can't leave you alone for an afternoon? Shut the fuck up! My emotions bubble over as I raise my voice in anger. As at this wolf, I'm once again in the presence of, why the hell did you wake me up? Excuse me? You're having a fucking fit on the couch when I walked in. I was dreaming. No, I was reliving some of the happiest moments of my life. What the hell are you talking about? I start to get huffy. I'm not in a good mental state for this. I feel like I was ripped away from a life through time and space. I debate on blowing up some more. I really want to. However, I figured this is something I should keep to myself. I don't need this asshole to know anything else about me. It's none of your business. Welcome home. That attitude's not gonna fly. Once he realizes I didn't do serious damage to me, he pulls me on the shirt to get me to look at. I try to remain confident. I'm so out of it that my panic is definitely showing. You were practically convulsing, and you're going to tell me it's none of my business? You clearly remember what was going on, and you're going to tell me what happened. I stare at him, deadpan, not wanting to deal with his attitude anymore than he wants to deal with mine. Jeez, you ask a lot of questions. I'm interrupted as Cooper smacks me across the face with the back of his paw. My eyes go wide from shock, and what confidence I had quickly dissipates. I hold my face. It doesn't hurt, but any semblance of safety I had evaporates. Cooper's practically snarling at this point. Listen, you little shit. You're in my home as my responsibility. Something's wrong. If something's wrong, I want you to tell me. I struggle to come up with any words. I feel like it's our first meeting happening all over again. You're all alone out here. I'm all you have, and even that isn't gonna last long. I'm offering to help you right now. I feel a tinge of my confidence coming back. Now I'm starting to get aggravated. I grab his arms and try to pull him off my shirt. You're the biggest reason why I haven't said anything. Is that right? And why is that? Cyrus, that's my name, right? How did you... So you did know. I knew it. That's my name. That you couldn't even tell me. You asked me at point blank what you should call me, and you decided to call me human? What the hell is wrong with you? Just wait a second. My name is Cyrus Galland Cantwell. I'm from Vermont. My mom's name is Candace, and my dad's name is Cyrus. Cooper bellows loudly, causing me to stop. Calm the fuck down already. You're an adult. You can talk to me without having a fucking temper tantrum. That's rich coming from... Stop. Cooper clamps his paws on my mouth, keeping me quiet. Your emotions are going haywire. I can literally tell that your thoughts are going every which way. Do we need to go over the breathing exercises again? All I can do is yell angrily in his paw, so I do just that. Cooper sighs. I'll take that as a yes. Get through your hissy fit, then we can talk. My yelling sputters out shortly after. It's hard to breathe like this. You ready to calm down? Then I start to glare at him. Cooper huffs. Cyrus, look, I'm sorry. He exhales as he releases the tension in his own chest, almost deflating. I want you to understand that I take no happiness in keeping secrets like this, especially from someone in your current situation. Cooper looks at me in the eyes with a regretful expression before returning to his usual confidence. I told you, I'm not doing this because I want to. This is a job. As fucked up as it is, you're under the authority of people you don't even know until we make it to resume. My glare devolves into a stare. I'm letting him talk before making my decision. I don't trust him, but I'd like to think he's being sincere. There are a lot of things I'm not allowed to tell you. A lot of things for your safety. A lot of it is for your safety, but a lot isn't. I know a lot about you, and I can't tell you anything you don't already know. I understand how frustrating that is to be left in the dark by the only person you're able to rely on. Even me telling you I can't tell you anything is a huge risk, however. Let's go of my mouth and I take a deep breath. And takes a deep breath. You're a person and should be treated as such. If you have anything you want to ask, I can at least be straight up and say it's classified. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me hydrate real quick. Sorry, I'm a little in the emotions right now from this, so thank you for the hydrate. But I can't do that if you don't try to talk to me, okay? He once again looks at me in the eyes. I can feel my frustration slowly wash away, although they're still lingering on the edge of my mind. Even so, I hold up my hands and start to breathe, start my breathing exercises. In, I start pulling my hands closer, and out. Cooper follows my tempo with his paw, just like when we first met. We do this together for a little while. Even when I'm almost completely calm, I don't say anything for a bit. I'm still processing being ripped out of my life with Damien for the second time. When I do start, I'm finding it hard to articulate my current emotions. Look, I'm sorry for spazzing out like that. I was having a very vivid dream, a memory of me and my boyfriend. Cooper lets me continue. No offense, but going from holding his hand to waking up to your... I catch myself and try to be amicable. Distinct face was a bit jarring and a little bit scary. Cooper sighs before rubbing the back of his neck. To be fair, the shape you were in looked pretty scary. I thought you were actually having a seizure or something. Really? I didn't feel like that when I was asleep. I yawn and Cooper continues. Well, you didn't look like you were possessed or anything. You were just shaking around a bit too much to look safe. Weird. I rubbed the back of my head. Maybe this injury did something worse internally. It's possible. Unfortunately, I can't really afford to take you to the doctor. Not like we have your records on hand either. Not even from your employers? They might have that kind of information, but classified. Got it. Sorry. It's cool. Well, no, it's not, but I can at least understand you're just the middleman in this whole ordeal. Thank you. Your understanding will make this a lot easier. Even so, do you promise to try to be as honest as you can? I can promise that. Alright. Do you know how I ended up on this planet? When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, a sudden joke catches me off guard and I almost snap at him. Instead, I just push into his chest, albeit weakly. Come on, man. I'm being serious. Cooper smirks. Sorry, couldn't resist. But, no. They didn't tell me anything like that. Can you ask them? Can I? Yes. Will I? No. If I ask specifics like that, they know something's up. Your employees sound like Your employers sound like tools. They can be. We both sigh. I'll be honest, your name was one of the only things that they really told me, along with giving me the orders to keep you under wraps. Even from my own name? Even from your own name. Jeez. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Like I said, they didn't tell me much. Hell, I didn't even know you were gay. That last part was a bit forward. I'm not really used to people talking about my sexuality like that. Well, kind of. Kind of. I'm gay in the way that I've fallen in love with men, but I'm actually asexual. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I get that. What? You do? Yeah, you like guys, but not sex. It's not that uncommon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What? Nothing. I'm just not used to it being so easy for people to understand. What's there to understand? Well, one of my old teammates was asexual as well. Cooper drops that casually, but he's still wearing a frown. Really? Yeah, I think she was demi or something. He's being so nonchalant, and I don't know what to say. You're not that weird. I mean, you are weird, but not that weird. Thanks. This conversation took a turn. Let's get off my sexuality. So, there's nothing else you'd know about me? No, I know more about you, but it's more the circumstances, about your circumstances, less than your personal life. What are my circumstances? Cyrus. I know. Classified. You catch on quick. It's been a day. At least give me a week to figure out how to live with amnesia. That's fair. I really shouldn't give you a hard time. I squinted at him. You seem awfully nice tonight. Why? I'll have you know I'm always nice. I let that BS hang in the air. Anyway, I did get a nice amount of supplies for us while I was out. Oh? Like what? Wait. I look outside. It's a bit darker. What time is it? It's almost 6. Oh, jeez. I slept for over 5 hours. I'll never get to sleep tonight. I might have something that could knock you out. Some tea shit. How appetizing. Speaking of, come on, help me make dinner. I'm starving. Sure. What do you need help with? Let's find out. I got all kinds of shit. We're going to let the ad play out. I'm going to try to calm down because I'm still very much tearing up from that. It was more than my hopeless romantic heart could handle. And I'm still fighting back tears. So while the ad break plays, I'm going to just try to relax and calm down a bit. Welcome back, guys. I kind of used that as a little break to try to calm my nerves a bit. I'm still crying because I'm such a sucker for hopeless romantic stuff. But now that you're back, let's keep going. From dumpsters? From dumpsters? I heard you the first time. You didn't answer me the first time. No, not from a dumpster. He doesn't continue. Elaborate. So what even constitutes a dumpster anyway? Cooper. I'm kidding. You're so easy. Luckily for us, my client sent us some funds ahead of time to get you home easier. So I got us some decent food. Oh? And since you've had such a hunger for knowledge, pun intended, I thought I'd teach you about the kind of food and equipment we have. That certainly sounds better than lying in a pool of your own blood. We'll make some decent memories for you yet. Cooper flashes a genuine smile before leading me to the kitchen. He's almost like a completely different person. Maybe he isn't so bad after all. Oh, but if there's one memory you could forget, could it be the one of me slapping you? Cooper grimaces and rubs the back of his head with his ears lowered. I don't need my employer to catch wind of that. I am sorry, though. I sigh and rub my cheek. Don't worry, I don't feel a thing. I wink at him with a smile. Cooper gives me an incredulous look. I don't think he understood my joke. Cooper asked for help sifting through some of the duffel bags he dragged in. In his words, there's apparently some decent food. Wow, you did get a lot. How did you carry it all in? I got arms, don't I? He flexes his arms. Okay, no. That's bonk. I'm bonking myself there. He flexes his arms. Damn, he sure does. I guess so. They're pretty impressive. What did you expect? When you live on your own, you gotta learn how to be efficient. That sounds good enough. That sounds like a good enough segue to ask about his past. Oh, you know what? I have a thing for Cooper. Okay, I have a thing for Cooper. I have a thing for Damien. So far, Damien is like the loving, caring boyfriend that I would absolutely love to be around, and like is a total goober, and I love that. But then you got Cooper, who minus the bathing, and like that's a really big thing about him that I don't like, is he is very like hot, mysterious. Like he's the bad boy. So of course, like I'm torn because I'm like I absolutely love Damien. I do. He's an amazing boyfriend for Cyrus. But I'm like, oh, Cooper is also so very hot. I think we're on chapter 3. I'll probably stop here at like chapter 4 or 5. Although he does seem to be in a good mood. I really shouldn't push it, but I do anyway. Why do you live alone? You mentioned friends yesterday. Couldn't you room with them? I used to, but it became apparent that my line of work works best when I'm alone. What do you mean? I guess that's the wrong way to put it. I need a space where I can be alone. It'd be trouble if anyone outside of my contracts came across my clients. Can you hand me that package? Sure. He points to a package wrapped in paper. It feels kind of wet. Is this meat? Sure is. Prime rib. You just want to be someone's backpack. Beef, huh? Yet another similar thing from back home. I decided to ask Cooper what's been bugging me. Cooper, can you tell me where we are? Well, the pod's on the we're on the outskirts of Tencia, but my apartment is in... No. What's the name of this planet? He organizes the food into the fridge before taking a few deep breaths and closing the door. That depends on who you ask. I pause. Well, I'm asking you. Is there not a name for the planet? Not really. Not anything set in stone, anyway. Why is that? Cooper pauses, tapping the counter in thought. That's, well, first and foremost, that's not classified. But it is something that most people really don't know. There's a lot we don't know. That's quite strange. It is. We don't even have a set year. The hell? Why? Cooper takes a deep breath, trying to recollect something. I'm not too sure of the details myself, but Cooper sighs. Have you heard of the Seven Stars? I don't think so, no. I try to see if I have an inkling of an idea, but all I get is a bit of a headache. Why? What is it? It's basically the start of the apocalypse. They call it that because supposedly about 7 meteorites entered the planet's atmosphere at the same time. At this point, all the information we have is passed down by word of mouth. Most of what we know is spotty at best. We know that at the time, they were able to stave off most of the damage by chipping away at the meteors mid-flight. Direct impact would have most likely meant extinction. Apparently, some were able to escape to space temporarily, but no one's certain if they survived. There are rumors that they found help and came back, but I think that's bullshit. Like, aliens? Who knows? Cooper shrugs before nodding me to the living room to organize the rest of his bounty. The continent we're on apparently got hit the hardest. They screwed up big time with how they dealt with the meteor, and it spread all over the country. It's terrible. Cooper slides on his axiom to search for something. From what we know, about 60% of the planet's overall population was wiped out. Jesus. It's funny you say that. We don't even know where that expression came from. Please don't say that. I don't need another existential crisis. Sorry. That's why I wanted to ease you into the world. I clutch my head, the headache coming to a peak. You okay? Just a sudden headache. I'll be fine. I'll take that as a sign that today's history lesson is over. While we travel, I'll let you in on all sorts of things. But for now, try to take care of yourself first, alright? He pats my shoulder in reassurance before guiding me to the couch. Here, I can handle making dinner. You just get some rest. But I've been resting for the past several hours. I whine like a child not wanting to be put down for their afternoon nap. From what I witnessed, you were far from resting. Let me get you some water and some meds. Alright, thanks. I groan as I recline on the couch. Why can I feel headaches when I can't feel anything else? This is bullshit. Here, just drink slowly. I know. Cooper chuckles at my grumbling as I take a glass of water. It's fizzing a bit, and it almost looks carbonated. I give it a sniff, and it smells kind of fruity. Almost like seltzer water, but with actual flavor. You sure I won't get sick from this? If you do, God help you. Is that another phrase you don't know the origins of? No. Pretty sure most religions have gods. I have made a fool of myself yet again. The seltzer water actually tastes pretty good. It also reminds me of orange soda, though not nearly as sweet. Thankfully, it does the job quickly. My headache starts evaporating after a few minutes of drinking the stuff. I'll need to ask Cooper if I can bring these tablets for the road. Seems like I get a headache every other minute. Speaking of Cooper, he calls me out from the kitchen corner. Hey Cyrus, did you wash the dishes? Oh, yeah, a few. Still, thanks for that. It's a pain to clean them myself. Why is that? I don't like doing it. Well, you're lucky you got me. I don't mind doing the dishes. You even spruced up the place while I was gone. Wish I could keep you around for longer then. I'm sure you do, considering the state the place was in. Well, it beats hiring a cleaning service. You'd save me a lot of money. I can't tell if he's trying to bait me into wanting to stay or not. Regardless, it's nice to feel wanted. Well, maybe I can come visit. Maybe. I can see him flick his ear. Wouldn't be surprised if he's just as lonely. Do you do this full time? Do what? Escorting? Mercenary work in general. I guess that's a more fitting word for it. Yeah, I do, more or less. I was never able to keep a steady job. Are you happy doing what you're doing? Cooper unwraps the beef and puts it in the pan, sprinkling various spices on it. I'm content. But are you happy? Sometimes, when I get paid, I am. That's pretty standard for a job, right? You got me there. J- Judging by how you're handling that meat. Mm-hmm. Phrasing. Cooper snorts. Oh my god, grow up. Hey, I'm on the same freaking wavelength as this dumb dog. Let's go. Sorry, old man. Spare me some of your wisdom. I roll my eyes and continue. Anyway, were you a chef before? How did you know? I worked in a kitchen for a while. Your movements reminded me of a chef I used to work with. Oh, wow, that's pretty perceptive of you. I guess some of your memories are coming back? I scratch my head. He's right. It just flows out of me at this point, whether I want it to or not. Kinda. I can't recall things on my own. They just sort of come out. I'm not sure what the triggers are. I'll keep that in mind. Who knows? Maybe by the time we get back to resume, your memories will be... maybe by the time we get to resume, your memories will be back. That'd be nice. It's kind of weird not knowing everything about yourself. I can imagine. It's possible you'll be a completely different person by the end of this. That's a scary thought. Although, that's just a part of life. Always changing even when you don't know it. Maybe you were a philosopher in a past life. That's pretty deep. I think that's just how development works. But I appreciate the compliment. Really wasn't one. Whatever fills the void in your heart. I'll have you know my heart is very full. Thank you very much. Just like that, I'm immediately thinking of Damien. Oops, I guess I'm wearing a goofy expression on my face because Cooper looks absolutely disgusted. What the hell are you thinking about? Just the love of my life. Cooper raises an eyebrow, but doesn't inquire further. Instead, he focuses on tonight's dinner. Glad he is. It smells pretty good to the point where my mouth starts to water. Dad, is dinner ready? Stop calling me Dad. It's weird. Oh, come on. If you get to call me old man, I get to call you a pet name. Once again, he looks absolutely done with me. First of all, Dad is not a pet name. Second of all, me making fun of you is a one-way street. And I'm not allowed to do the same? Of course not. That'd be weird. Why? You ask a lot of questions. Not this again. Cooper snickers as he brings over a couple plates. We'll get on a nickname basis one day. I'll hold you to that. Surprisingly, Cooper's meal tastes pretty good. I can tell what some of the spices are, but they blend together nicely. I can't tell what some of the spices are, but they blend together nicely. It's kind of a smoky flavor, but sweet at the same time. It's almost like barbecue sauce. Oh, wow, you really can cook. This is pretty good. Why are you so surprised? I honestly just thought you dug through the trash for your food. Do you really think I'm homeless? You're taking too long to answer a yes or no question. Well, by definition, no, because you own a home, but now you're making a yes or no question complicated. It's a complicated situation. When's the last time you... The idea strikes me. Actually, when we finish dinner, I got something I want to do for you. Uh-oh. What? It's a secret. So you can keep secrets? I don't want to hear that from you. You still owe me. Do I? You will after tonight. Huh? I smirk at him. Dog's in for a treat. Okay, I'm gonna hit save. Are you serious? Yes, strip. Cooper huffs in exasperation. It can't be that bad. You're telling me you can smell blood from blocks away, but you can't smell your own BO. It's long since faded. That shows how long it's been since you've had a bath. I open the shower curtain. We're gonna fix that. If I wasn't wearing a t-shirt right now, I'd definitely roll up my sleeves. This is gonna take a lot of work. Do we really have to? This isn't... I'll tell your clients you smacked me. Cooper narrows his eyes. Seriously, no offense, but your stench is that repulsive. Cooper sighs before starting to take his clothes off. You're seriously the most annoying escortee ever. That's not even a word. It is here, asshole. I roll my eyes. Sure it is. Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna have to do this the hard way? I cross my arms and stare at Cooper, really trying to nail my glare down. Cooper doesn't look very impressed. What do I get out of this? You get a gold star for practicing basic hygiene. A what? You get a pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to do. I don't need. Are you scared of water or something? What? No. Then take your clothes off and get in the tub. I point and huff. Cooper's good mood has all but dissipated at this point. Seriously, so needy. He says that as he hands me his jacket. I take it from him and I toss it in what I assume is a hamper. Cooper looks at me for a moment. Could you turn around? It's kind of weird to undress in front of a guy I barely know. You're such a baby. I roll my eyes and do as he says. I can hear his clothes drop to the ground behind me. You really want to do this? I'm almost begging you to take a bath, and not in a weird way. Cooper snickers. Way to make it weird. Okay then, you can turn around. Admittedly, I hesitate for a moment. I turn around slowly. Sure enough, there it is. Gross. Internal jokes aside, he'd almost be attractive if he wasn't such an asshole. Girl, I don't know what you mean. Give me this Wolfman any day of the week. I have to say, he's pretty confident standing there naked. Looks like someone wanted to show off after all. I don't know why you made such a big deal about it. You said you're asexual, right? I thought horny stuff wasn't your thing. Oh, wait. That's actually pretty considerate of him. Oh, well, not really, no. I mean, it depends if they're the sex repulsed or not, obviously. It's not like I was going to stare at it or anything. Whatever you say. You want to get started? Lord knows I am. I reach for the tablet and fiddle with the temperature. You figured out how to use it? There wasn't much to figure out. How do you like your showers? Hot and then cold. I give him an incredulous look. Really? Yeah, why? You're unhinged, ending on a cold shower. Give me a break. It's so easy to overheat with all this fur. I take a hot shower to feel fresh, and then a cold one to cool down. I guess that makes sense. I slide the bar to the red side and turn on the faucet before handing him a bottle of shampoo. Here, do some of the preliminary stuff on your own. I crack my knuckles and stretch a bit. I'll do the rest. Cooper looks a bit skeptical. What's the rest? Time limit, remember? Cooper rolls his eyes before closing the shower curtain. While he's getting started, I look around the room. I didn't think about it while washing my own hair, but I could probably use a hair tie or something to keep it out of my face. Cooper probably doesn't use them himself, but maybe a past client of his kept some in here. I look behind me to make sure he's still in there. I already rifled through these cabinets before, but doing so in his presence makes me feel weird about it. Regardless, I start to sift through the cabinets and the drawers again, as quietly as I can. I hear the shower curtain open. What are you doing? Fuck, he's got Super Wolf hearing. I look back. He looks so skinny with his damp fur. I had to really try not to laugh. I do let a snort out, however. Sorry, I was looking for something to tie my hair back with. Cooper rolls his eyes and points with his nose. There's a first aid kit somewhere, and use the bandages. I don't get a chance to respond as he closes the curtains. Thanks, I guess. I reach up to the top cabinet and take the lone red box down. It's pretty dusty. I wonder how long it's been up here. I unlatch it, and I wish I'd cover my nose. It's absolutely filled with dust. Jesus Christ, how old is this thing? I yelled through my coughing fit. I don't know. It was there when I got the place. I'm gonna show you how to clean tomorrow. We don't got a earbud. I can hear him snicker as if it's something to be proud of. What a loser. There are some bandages in here. As far as I'm aware, those can't expire. I'm not sure. I don't remember the rest of my master's program yet. Wait, they're bandages. Literally just cloth. Guess I'm still overthinking silly little things. Thankfully, there's a small pair of scissors in the box, so I cut a long enough strip to tie my hair up a bit. I turn to the mirror. I look like a bad movie character. Scars, long white hair, with the ponytail. I'm every edgy teen's favorite character all at once. It's nice that I can look at myself without flinching, though. That's something. Are you done? Almost. You can turn the water off. Alright, let me know when you're ready. Should I be worried? Is the big bad wolf scared of being groomed? I can hear a subtle growl from behind the curtain. And this time I definitely snort. You'll be fine. Don't be such a baby. Okay, I'm ready, I guess. I pause for a moment before opening the curtain. Surely enough, I'm met with a damp, naked wolf. See, you got the hard part out of the way all on your own. Do I get a gold star now? He rolls his eyes at me and I snicker. Oh no, we're about halfway done. I need you to sit down. What? Why? So I can wash you. Duh. Is that not what I just did? I'm sure you got a good chunk of it done, but you really need a thorough bath. Cooper sighs loudly. He almost sounds like a whiny kid. Seriously? Seriously, it's not going to take that long. Just lean up against the wall so I can see your back, and the tub is big enough for you, I'm sure. He grumbles before doing as he's told. Do you have a bucket or something I can use? Cooper groans as if speaking has suddenly become an exercise. There might be one in the closet. Thank you, oh valued customer. He grumbles as I fetch the bucket. I turn the bath faucet on and get a steady stream going. Ready? Cooper sighs. Sure. I can practically hear his eyes rolling. What a puppy. I take a glob of shampoo and I start to run it through the top of Cooper's head, along with his back. I hear Cooper grumbling. I already did that. Sorry, I still don't trust you. Deal with it. Besides, it's normal to wash your hair twice. His ears lower for a moment as I start to dig in his fur, but they quickly perk up, along with the rinsing sound of a wet tail flapping against the tub. For his pride's sake, I choose not to comment on it, despite it being pretty cute. Sorry, Damien, but wolves do have something that cats don't. I don't get that, but we're gonna act like I do. I'm gonna pour the water over your head, okay? Mm-hmm. He's digging the scratches. I know it. I fill up the bucket and pour it straight down, getting myself wet a bit in the process. Oh well, these aren't my clothes anyway. We repeat the process a few times, particularly on his back. I wonder when the last time he had someone help him wash it. I put some more effort into his back, causing that tail of his to slap the tub some more. He's making subtle moans throughout our impromptu spa treatment. Wouldn't be surprised if he asked me to do this again before our little adventure is over. Not that I would mind. Girly Pop is just doing a good job out there. Overall, it took us about 20 minutes to get him sufficiently washed. I would have taken less time, but once we got into it, he kept asking for more. I don't blame him. It's probably the most intimate experience he's had with another person in a while. I'd have to say the same. I kind of liked it too, which is going to make separating that much more difficult. Wait, stay strong. You have a boyfriend. What the fuck? Okay, I'll admit it. That wasn't so bad. I'll take that as a compliment. You should. I haven't had a good massage like that in a while. It's been a while since I've given one. I'm glad I wasn't rusty. Is it something you did often? Yeah, for my boyfriend. He had to exercise a lot, so I would give him massages pretty frequently. Boyfriend, huh? He looks a bit somber for a moment, but he goes back to his good mood somewhat quickly. Sounds like a great guy. The best. I can't wait to see him again. Well, we'll try to make that happen. He ruffles my hair before starting to stretch. In any case, you certainly made me feel a hell of a lot better. I'll need to do that more often. What? Shower? That too. He smirks and I roll my eyes. This dude. Well, I'm glad I picked up that shampoo. I'm glad I picked that shampoo. You smell so much better now. I'm not sure how manly it is to smell like orchids and vanilla, though. Oh, I love this goober face. I didn't think you cared about that kind of thing. I do have a certain image that I like to keep, which is, well, I do have to be somewhat intimidating. If it were me, I'd be way more scared being met with an angry looking dude smelling like flowers. Why? Shows you're confident. I mean, I guess. He scratches the back of his head. You're weird. Don't I know it? I start a big and long yawn before giving. Oh, do it. I start a big and long yawn before giving stretching myself. Ugh, that was a workout. Even with my long nap earlier, I'm exhausted. Cooper holds up his Axiom and reads out the time. It's a bit past 9 p.m. Hey, maybe my sleep schedule is salvageable after all. Time for bed. Time for bed. I'll say, you'll need your rest tomorrow. You're coming along. Wait, huh? Why? After your little napping session, I'd rather keep a close eye on you. Honestly, is it bad I want to keep going? Because I'm really vibing the story. Like, I feel like I could do this until like 10 p.m. my time. Tell me about it. Alright, what time do you want to head out? Let's say around 9 a.m. That okay? Sure. I let out another yawn and start to make my way back to the couch. Cooper stops me before I make it, though. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I have something for you. I rub my face for a moment while Cooper fetches something from one of his bags. Here, this is what you were looking for. He's holding out a book with an ornate-looking pen in one paw and in the other a cup with a toothbrush and toothpaste. Whoa, this looks kind of expensive. Where'd you get this? I found an antique store and they had junk like this, although I'm not sure of the quality. Why? Does it look valuable? What if I just wake you up when it starts to get good? I take the pen from him. It feels pretty expensive with how weighty it is. It looks pricey to say the least. I hope it didn't cost you much. Not really. The journal thing was in a big pile and there was a big cup of these pens. Weird. Well, thank you, Cooper. I appreciate it. I take the journal as well and flip through it. It looks kind of minimalist in that obnoxious sort of way. Oh, wait, I have something for you too. I gently place the journal and pen down on the living room table before heading to the windowsill. I found this while I was cleaning out one of your junk boxes. Oh? Cooper's smile fades to shock as I turn and look at the tablet screen. Okay, we're almost done. I'll just let the ad finish. Oh. Alright, hydration. I wanted to show this to you. I know you said I could have most of what I found, but I didn't even know how to unlock this thing. Wow. He looks completely enamored by the image being displayed. Cooper pauses a moment before taking a deep breath. He's trying to smile at me. Thanks, Cyrus. I appreciate it. Do you mind if I keep this? I can see about finding you another tablet like it somewhere. You've done more than enough for me. The journal is plenty. In fact, I might write in it for a bit. I'll leave you to that then. Have a good night. He pats my head before heading to his bedroom. Good night. I yell at him just before he closes the door. Cooper turns around and gives me a sad kind of smile. I wonder if I should have shown him that, but I think it was the right thing to do. Before I get comfortable on the couch, I go to brush my teeth for the first time in who knows how long. The toothpaste isn't minty like I thought it'd be. It's almost fruity. That's one more bizarre thing that's happened to date. Still, it gets the job done, and my mouth feels completely different. Thankfully, my teeth look to be in okay shape. I don't even want to think about the dentist situation around these parts. After one more rinsing, I go back to the couch. I pick up the pen for a moment, but I set it down. I'm too tired to write in it. I'll do some writing before we head out tomorrow. As I start to get comfortable, I reminisce over what happened. Not a lot happened per se, but what happened has been pretty okay. My reminiscing gets interrupted, though I hear an audible grunt, followed by the sound of something solid and electrical snapping from Cooper's room. Oh, he broke the tablet. Chapter 4, Water's Edge. Alright, I think that is a great place to stop. Yeah, what can I say? This has already been kind of crazy because I've been doing this for almost 4 hours now, and I legitimately have been fighting back tears since the whole chapter with Damien. That was probably some of the most romantic parts that I've ever read. So, I genuinely hope that we can get back to him. I just want Cyrus to be happy, but normally these stories, he might not be able to get back to him and he'll end up with Cooper, so we'll see how that goes. Next time though, I don't know the next time I'm going to stream. Honestly, I really want to keep going. I know I do, but I at least need a break to kind of get my feelings in check, try to stop myself from crying as much, because I am very much crying and fighting back tears reading this. Really good writing, and I think that the characters have really good not development, but they're very well written. So I think next time if I do decide to stream, it'll probably be within a couple of hours. I might just keep streaming for the rest of the night, or I might do some tomorrow. But regardless, I hope you guys will come back and watch and help me with remembering the flowers, because so far this has been an amazing visual novel that I'm really excited to keep going, and I can't sing it enough praise right now. I really can't. Like I said, I'm still choking back tears. I really want to cry from him getting ripped away from Damien that way. It just breaks my heart. So, but thank you for coming to watch. I really do appreciate it, guys. I really do. And I hope you'll continue on this journey with me for my first playthrough of this. And I hope that you'll like the genuine reactions that I have, because I'm already crying from chapter 2 or 3. So I can only imagine. I think this has 15 chapters or something. So let's see how good it gets. All right. Take care. Be good people, and just make sure to tell your loved ones that you love them, because you never know when you're going to be ripped away.